Do you know what you need?
Tell me, Tifa.
A bedtime story.
I'm not ready for this. I am so not ready for this.
I am absolutely ready for this.
Everybody. Hello, Andrew. Congrats on being third by a technicality. Hello, Fody. Congrats on being first. Hello, Benjima. Hello, Andrick. Hello, Sir Chris Swan. Hello, Motonot. How are you all doing?
Everything he said. Can't stay for long, but Groundhog wanted me to let you know that she said I'd love to be a German kid with you, but I'm busy at choir rehearsal. What is this?
Groundhog, when you potentially see this later, remember that you told Motonot this. Let's see if you still feel the same way once we're done with all of this. Just saying. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. I need a peepo comfy for this stream. Is that a euphemism for Ranger? Because I think he's working.
I'm quite sure he is working today, but besides that, I was gonna ask what a peepo comfy is.
I believe it's an emote, but it sounds like Ranger's stripper name.
Oh, the one with the where he's like wearing this blanket.
I think so.
I think I know which one it is.
I do think so.
Yeah, I hope you all get your blankets ready, a cookie, a cup of tea, because we'll cause you some sweet dreams tonight today.
Yes, very much.
As you can see, Jack is absolutely hyped up for this.
Depending on how fast we get through all of this, maybe we have time at the very end for a behind the scenes thing, how today happened. We will see, we will see. I don't understand how they can go through all that trouble to explain me how to watch their stream, even though I've been watching for 2 years, but I can't get a pre-recorded recap. Wow, guys, just wow. If I didn't have a day job, and if I had enough time on my hands, I totally would do that.
That would save recap time.
That's like my dream. Maybe one day. But up until then, you just have to make do with pre-recorded messages, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's not the emote I had in mind, Fody, but
it's still cute.
Absolutely works. That's usually how I'm sitting watching things with you guys on Saturday.
Yeah, can confirm. Wearing his blanket, are you sure you aren't talking about Skinner? Is Skinner a blanket person? Oh yeah, true, he has even streamed with a blanket a couple times.
Yeah. Everyone's a blanket person.
There are some people that don't like wearing a blanket.
I love blankets. Blankets work every fucking day, even in summer. I lay under the blankets on the couch
naked,
in
but
summer.
with a blanket.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter how you wear.
It depends what the blanket is made out of.
That is true.
Yes. Hello, Evie. Happy
Sunday as well.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
But yeah, today either is going to be a really short stream, depending on how fast we go through all of them, or it's going to be a really long stream, but...
Or we will alienate literally everybody by going through this.
It's German culture.
Yes. Do you want to talk about how this happened, Tifa? As in where the thing that we will go through came to be?
I can talk about that when we...
Did the camera catch that? Her dismissive hand movement? Like...
No, my fingers are cold. I'm warming up my fingers. I'm just saying.
He wears a blanket or dressing gown. He usually looks comfy on stream. And that is awesome.
It is important.
Yeah. I would love to wear my slanket, snuggie, whatever it is called again on stream. But the problem is when we start streaming, like my blood pressure slowly rises, either from yelling at Tifa or because I'm sitting in front of a running camera. And then I get warm, and then that thing just gets too warm.
It gets really warm during stream.
Yeah.
Like this room starts heating up with all the equipment on.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
Are there any illustrations to go with the story? Yes, there are. And whether you're going to be happy with that is a different story. Some are...
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to ruin the fun. But yes, there are pictures.
Yes. Also, hello Beth and hello Dingo. Happy Sunday to you as well.
Cheers. Happy Sunday.
Good morning, you two. How was your weekend? Yesterday we spent a lot of time walking around because it was Pokemon Go Community Day with Larvatars. That was fun. I caught like 20 shinies. That was pretty impressive. I caught more than her for the first time in my life.
Than me, yeah.
And today I woke up, I followed Tifa to the living room, I laid down, dozed off for another 6 hours. Then we had dinner and now I'm here. Yeah. I spent 2/3 of today sleeping and I still feel like I could sleep more, which is weird.
It's been a slow day, which is fine.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with a slow day.
How are you all doing? Before we make your day even better.
I hope you all are sleepy too, because I'm looking forward to this. Do you already want to start? I just noticed the tags. I haven't even seen the tags yet.
Well, since you can't see them in post, I did some magic. I have reading aloud, as in out loud, German, culture, totally normal, nothing weird, nightmare fuel, and why are we doing this? I was honestly shocked that Twitch would let me set these as tags, but yes, that should give you an idea of what's about to happen.
I like how your tags slowly started escalating. Also, where is story and comfy and bedtime and consequences, because that's the main thing of today.
Well, Tifa, it was either that or every 5 minutes I go, okay, trigger warning, and I list all the things that are about to happen. Basically, here's this. If you are whatsoever affected by things that were deemed culturally good enough for children circa 400 years ago, this is not the stream for you. That's a blanket statement, I would say. Some of these things will be disturbing you. Yes, and you can blame Tifa for all of them. She made all of this happen today.
There will be some bloodshed. There will be dying. I was gonna say there will be happy endings, but I'm quite sure none of them have a happy end. Besides one, I believe. Yeah.
I don't think so. None of this is a happy ending.
I swear German bedtime stories are just absolutely brutal, and I am looking forward to going through all of them because I haven't fully read them. I skimmed through it to make sure
so
we know.
So this will be Tifa's first time reading these two. Amazing.
Just to make sure we know what we're reading out.
Having read them as a child, I can tell you this is Game of Thrones, but with kids.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, except for the nudity part.
Can't wait for a call to end at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm hoping nothing else comes in anymore, Fody.
Yes.
Because I think you had a rough day already yesterday.
Yes. Yes, indeed. The idea that someone might find your stream through Nightmare Fuel makes me so happy. If it's popular, we might keep it. I mean...
No, sure.
Why not?
We'll redo it every month. Just to make sure it's ingrained into you. I'm a German child born in 1673. Well, then I'm sure you know all of these stories by heart.
How's the plague been treating you? You've lived through some things then, my friend. Are you ready, Tifa?
I am ready. I am so ready.
Which one? You can pick. Honestly, at this point, you can pick.
She knows.
Let me see if this is working the way it's supposed to. Yes, it does. Alright, are you all ready?
I'm ready.
Alright. You see nothing. And there's a reason for it. So now do you want to tell people what's about to happen? Or why it's about to happen?
Now tell it. Like the backstory or the background story behind the actual book is very simple. This guy, father of I think 2 young children if I remember correctly, felt like there weren't enough bedtime stories he could tell his children that taught them about consequences.
Let me grab Luca. I don't know if you want to.
So he decided to write his own stories that would teach his children what would happen if they didn't listen and cause shit.
Yes.
So it was meant to make his children behave.
Yes. And I forgot the wording, but if you are aware of Disney Plus, with some of their old shows and movies, they have a disclaimer in front of them. Like, this was made at a time where certain things were accepted and we didn't cut them out because we wanted to show you the work as is. That's this entire stream. That's the entire stream. I didn't edit anything out when I put this together. It has all the pictures, it has all the text. I have a link in chat, you can click on it yourself. They're on Project Gutenberg, they're public domain.
Watch out for spoilers, sir.
Yes, don't read ahead. Because
we're going through all of them now as well.
Don't read ahead. But yes, we will go through Struwwelpeter, merry stories and funny pictures by Heinrich Hoffman, as is.
Also the funny pictures, I'm just saying, not written by us, that's actually in it.
That's the title of the book.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're going for the English version, because they exist.
Yeah. Just in case I get blamed for it.
Yes, some of the lines and jokes do sound better in German, so I do commend all of you for learning German, specifically to understand the original source material, which of course you will do after the stream. But up until then, the English is good enough. That's why we decided to go with it anyway.
Poop Lord, cheers. And
hello.
There will be no shopping cart stories in this one, at least. Correct. I think.
I know, yeah, that's not a spoiler, that is correct. Shopping carts were not around at the time when this happened. Yes. Guys are going for the let's get cancelled strat. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays off.
Let's see if we're allowed to return on Tuesday.
I believe this is enough of a disclaimer. Tifa, are you ready?
I am ready.
Ready?
See you guys in 2 weeks.
No, Tuesday. Anyway, let's get through this first and then let's see when we're gonna be back. Ready?
I'm ready.
Are you all ready? Tuck yourselves in because we're up for a wild ride.
When the children have been good, that is, be it understood, good at mealtimes, good at play, good all night and good all day, they shall have the pretty things Merry Christmas always brings.
German parents and German Santa Claus apparently judge you if you're not good at playing.
You can play bad. You can rip the head off your dolls, for example. You can destroy things while playing.
Yes. And if you pay close attention to the book that the angel is holding, spoilers. Spoiler, just saying, GG kids, basically. Also, I think it's not a spoiler, it's fair to say it's downhill from here onwards.
Yeah, this is the happiest page in the book.
Yes, you have been warned. This is the last warning I'm gonna give people. Naughty, romping girls and boys tear their clothes and make a noise, spoil their pinafores and frocks, and deserve no Christmas box. Such as these shall never look at this pretty picture book.
You would think every kid that has been bad would get this book, but you know.
Define pinafores. No, you do that. I have no idea what a pinafore is. It's one of the words I didn't get around to Googling. Yeah, actually, can I quickly look that up for you? What's a pinafore? A pinafore is a sleeveless garment worn as an apron. Yes, thank you, Dingo. Thank you, yes.
I think I've even had one of those.
So we are 2 pages, no, actually technically still the first page of a book, and we already learned a word. You're welcome, people. You're welcome. Your face is a pinafore. I'm gonna steal that line. I'm gonna steal that line.
You ready?
Alright. It's time for the first funny picture in the story. This is Shock-Headed Peter, the eponymous Struwwelpeter.
Who is the main character of our book, basically. Actually, does he come back? I'm not sure.
We will see.
Just look at him! There he stands with his nasty hair and hands. See, his nails are never cut, they're grimed as black as soot. And the sloven, I declare, never once has combed his hair. Anything to me is sweeter than to see shock-headed Peter. That's kind of my hair in the morning, honestly.
Yeah, Peter is not a kid that gets Christmas presents. Because he doesn't do his nails, he doesn't do his hair, and his stance is also a bit weird.
Yeah.
Also,
Peter is the bad kid.
Peter is a reverse Bayonetta. Instead of being mostly legs, he is mostly upper body.
He just has short legs.
But only very short upper legs.
Kinda jealous of the waist though.
Why his feet do that though?
Well...
He is trying to go for the Egyptian look, where you try to be a 2D picture basically.
Those nails are nightmare fuel for sure. There is one picture which I think is the worst, and it comes
later.
In like 3 or 4 stories. All of these are like kind of short stories that we're going through.
Yes.
And all have their own lesson that you will get from it.
Yeah, the lesson here is if you don't keep up your personal hygiene, you might end up looking like that. And then you'll be the cover of a book that people in Germany write because they want their kids to know that consequences exist.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right. Actual first story.
It's time to learn about cruel Frederick. More like Edward Scissorhands? Pooplot, good thing you mentioned that. Stick around. Maybe we'll have something for you a little bit down the road. Here is cruel Frederick, see, a horrid, wicked boy was he. He caught the flies, poor little things, and then tore off their tiny wings. He killed the birds and broke the chairs and threw the kitten down the stairs, and oh, far worse than all beside, he whipped his Mary till she cried.
I like how he has an actual whip, by the way.
Yes.
I haven't even looked at the pictures yet.
Yes, Frederick is a human-made shitpost, basically. That kid is gonna murder by 16.
If he makes it to 16.
I mean, he already killed the cat. So he is gonna be the main character of several horror movies.
Yeah, you see the cat laying dead in the left corner with a rock on top of it.
Yes, stoned to death.
Yep.
What's his last name? 4chan. That could be Frederick 4chan, yes. That actually does have a nice ring to it.
What they don't tell you about cruel Fred is that his dad struggles with alcoholism and his childhood cat was taken away at a young age. Yeah, by himself.
Now, Dingo, this is not how German children work. The reason why they turned out this way doesn't matter. It's all exclusively their fault. It's not the problem that they haven't been taught differently. They just are assholes, apparently. I mean,
yeah.
What did the cat do? We don't know. It was in a wrong place at the wrong time and it met cruel Frederick and now it's no more.
Who's his Mary? I think it's like a...
The lady on the red, his nanny?
Yeah, it's like a nanny.
Define Mary.
Well, it's the lady that got whipped.
Yes. Apparently, 400 years ago in Germany, well-off families didn't have nannies, they had Marys. Marys were people exclusively there so that your child could whip them if they wanted to become basically Hitler when they were 12 or whatever age Frederick is.
Suddenly this music is too happy for me.
I just picked an ambient DMCA free playlist. No. Jack, how old were you when you were given your first whip? I never owned a whip. That's a true fact.
In this time you use your belt.
Yes. Germany got rid of that cultural custom just shortly before my birth. My dad still had a whip. However, it goes on. The trough was full and faithful Tray came out to drink one sultry day. He wagged his tail and wet his lip when cruel Fred snatched up a whip. And whipped poor Tray till he was sore, and kicked and whipped him more and more. At this Tray grew very red, and growled, and bit him till he bled. Then you should only have been by to see how Fred did scream and cry. So Tray is the hero of the story, that's the dog.
Like how he just runs off with the whip in the end.
Yes. Tray's full name is Tray Consequences. Basically, don't kick dogs. That's all you need to know so far. So Frederick had to go to bed. His leg was very sore and red. The doctor came and shook his head and made a very great to-do and gave him nasty physic too. As far as I'm aware, physic is this concoction that he holds in his hand, like medicine.
Well, it says for Frederick.
True. I guess like an anti-rabies potion that we made in medieval Germany? I don't know.
I have no clue at this point. They probably use bird shit to heal his wounds.
Fred F around and Trey find out. Yes, that's the new modern subtitle of the story.
This was absolutely deserved though. Like, don't whip a dog. Don't whip anything for that matter, unless they want you to.
Yes, unless it's consensual. But dogs cannot really consent like that, so don't. Now thinking about it now, we don't have any Don't Be Cruel to Animals bedtime stories in the US. Now you do.
You can use this one.
Yes, now you do. Noun, physic, plural, physics, medicine, especially a cathartic. See, I was right. It's medicine.
I've never heard it in that sentence before, but the more you know.
Exactly. But good dog Trey is happy now. He has no time to say bow wow. He seats himself in Frederick's chair and loves to see the nice things there. The soup he swallows sup by sup and eats the pies and puddings up.
This story has a good ending for Trey.
Yes, Trey is my favorite character so far.
Yeah. Like, with the dog gets all the snacks and food. You have to stay in bed with a fucked up leg.
Yeah, and you have to take nasty medicine.
Yeah. I think that's a legit story.
I have to say, this story I like. I mean, I don't like the part where animals get killed and hurt, and the nanny gets corporal punishment for existing. But Frederick got his comeuppance.
Yeah, this is one of the nicer ones, for sure.
Yes. I wonder where Frederick is now.
Probably
Actually,
still in bed.
Maybe better if we don't know.
See, short stories. This one,
yes,
kinda happy. At least it feels happy.
Yeah, the title of the next one is already wonderful, so.
This one is a tiny bit more dreadful.
Yes, Dr. Taylor was not my favorite ending, but at least it's better than the beginning. Yes, I agree. Let's check out the rest of the endings.
Very true. Fire! Fire! Fody sees it coming.
Mm-hmm.
The dreadful story of Harriet and the matches.
It almost makes me cry to tell what foolish Harriet befell. Mama and nurse went out one day and left her all alone at play. Now on the table close at hand a box of matches chanced to stand, and kind Mama and nurse had told her that if she touched them they would scold her, but Harriet said,
"Oh, what a pity, for when they burn it is so pretty. They crackle so and spit and flame. Mama too often does the same."
Can you see where this is going?
I like how the cats are now.
Yeah, the cats.
Yeah. I don't like where this is going.
The pussycats heard this and they began to hiss and stretch their claws and raise their paws.
Meow.
They said,
"Meow, meow, you'll burn to death if you do so."
But Harriet would not take advice. She lit a match. It was so nice. It crackled so it burned so clear, exactly like the picture here. She jumped for joy and ran about and was too pleased to put it out.
Don't run with matches.
The pussycat saw this and said,
"Oh, naughty, naughty miss,"
and stretched their claws and raised their paws.
"This is very, very wrong, you know. Meow, 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 you will be burned if you do so."
And see, oh, what a dreadful thing. The fires caught her apron string. Her apron burns her arms, her hair. She burns all over everywhere. Then how the pussycats did mew. What else, poor pussies, could they do? They screamed for help. 'Twas all in vain. So then they said,
"We'll scream again. Make haste, meow, meow. She'll burn to death. We told her so."
Yeah.
Third-degree burns on 98% of her body? Probably. She's fine. Is this story about Beth? I sure hope not.
I pray not. I mean, I don't think that's how she earned the name Fire Goddess Beth.
This is fine.
Also, hello Shrift, congrats on being second.
Cheers.
Popping in to say Jack is a loser for thinking Persona 3 sucks. Back to being gone from chat now, bye. Fair. Fair. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I do really like the cats.
The cats are pretty cool.
They really look pretty distressed.
So far, what you need to know is if a cat tells you don't do this, this is really dumb, maybe do listen to the cat.
If your cats do start talking and tell you to not do it, just don't.
Be it because you're way too high, or because the cat actually starts talking to prevent like something horrible happening, listen to the cat. If it tells you this is not safe, just listen to the cat, please. I did play with fire.
Well, hopefully not like this.
We were trying to cover for you, but
that looks pretty painful.
Yeah, about that. So she was burned with all her clothes and arms and hands and eyes and nose, till she had nothing more to lose except her little scarlet shoes, and nothing else but these was found among her ashes on the ground. And when the good cat sat beside the smoking ashes, how they cried,
"Meow, meow, 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 what will Mama and Nursey do?"
Their tears ran down their cheeks so fast, they made a little pond at last.
Rip.
Yeah. Also, this is directly linked to Skyward Sword, the Zelda game. Because in Skyward Sword, Link gets red earrings, and they make him fireproof. Well, the little girlie only had red shoes, and the shoes are still there. Coincidence? I think not. I think the Zelda games are trying to teach us something, that if you are a fictional character in a fictional story, wearing red things makes you at least partially immune to heat.
Can we talk, by the way, about how these cats are crying out of their noses?
I did not want to bring that up, but you are correct, yes.
I only see that now.
I mean, it says they cry, but that's not tears, that's snot. Because... Yes, I've never cried out of my nose.
No, but seriously, this I thought was one of the worst stories in there. Like, can you just imagine, like, Benjima sitting with Luca, reading him a story, and you go like, she burned to ashes.
And when she burned to
blown
death,
away in the wind. She screamed and cried. I find this quite bad. This is one of the worst, boring... This was meant for 6-year-olds. Yeah, I find that quite rough.
My parents gave me this book, an actual physical hard copy, when I was like 11. Yes.
We actually do have one here as well.
Yeah, it's behind me, we can show it later. Yeah. Yes.
6-year-olds have Fortnite now. Well, that is also true.
True.
Different times.
This may be the best stream I've ever watched. I both want you to tell them all right now, whilst also saving some to tell us at the end of each stream. I'll remind you of that at the end of the stream. Because we did think about that too.
Need to find an animated version.
Make it yourself.
That might exist, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure if we all scrounge up enough money, we can do like a Kickstarter thing and have like the company, the animation studio that did Attack on Titan do this. I mean, they're all rather short, so why not?
That is also true.
Probably on YouTube. It could be.
It could exist.
Did not look for one because I didn't want to accidentally get inspired by how they did it. And people, oh, you stole it. Which would be fair, so I just did it myself. Yeah. We could be 100. Yes. And then Tifa buys all the copies. So, don't play with fire. That's the moral of the story. Yeah. Beth only burned herself with melting plastic. It was a good lesson. No, burning plastic is the worst. Besides the you burning yourself, probably, burning plastic is highly toxic. So please don't do it anymore. And if some of you have never burned plastic, keep it that way. Please.
I don't like the smell of it.
As you should. German bedtime stories animated by Studio Ghibli, directed by Guillermo del Toro. I would not watch that. No.
I would absolutely watch it.
No. Just no. Inky Boys, name of my Splatoon hentai folder.
Getting this off.
It's a bit different than that, as you will find out in a moment. Ready?
I am ready. as he had often done before, the woolly-headed blackamoor, who once nice fine summer day went out to see the shops and walk about. And as he found it hot, poor fellow, he took with him his green umbrella.
How do you rhyme fellow with umbrella?
Fella, I would have gone with fella.
Oh, fair enough, but you said
Poor
fellow.
fella, yeah, but that's what it says.
I was waiting for you to say umbrella.
I think in German it rhymes better.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. That's the
does.
thing with having to translate it.
Now, I have a feeling some of you are thinking similar things that I was thinking when I went through creating this. Where is this going, and will the two people reading the story end up in jail? Wait.
The picture was way less racist than I was expecting. When we saw the pictures in this one, we fully regret it because we were like, is this even something we could?
Do we cut this? Is
Put
there
on?
a way to do this properly?
But it has a good moral. Let me already spoil that.
Wait for it.
Then Edward, little noisy wag, ran out and laughed and waved his flag. And William came in jacket trim and brought his wooden hoop with him. Also, the one on the left looks like the one from Zelda. What's his name?
Groose.
Groose. Same hair,
God.
no?
Is there more connections between these stories and Zelda? Is playing Zelda games still okay?
And Arthur too snatched up his toys and joined the other naughty boys. So one and all set up a roar and laughed and hooted more and more and kept on singing. Only think, oh Blackie, you're as black as ink.
Except that was my line.
Oh, we could have sang it together.
Oh Blackie, you're as black as ink. Bruh, exactly. Wait.
Panic! Panic! Quick, next page.
Wait.
Now tall Agrippa lived close by, so tall he almost touched the sky. He had a mighty inkstand too, in which a great goose feather grew. He called out in an angry tone,
Boys, leave a blackamoor alone, for if he tries with all his might, he cannot change from black to white.
But they did not mind a bit what great Agrippa said of it, but went on laughing as before and hooting at the blackamoor. I need to get a hold of Skinner right now.
Do it.
We'll wait. Do it. Then great Agrippa foams with rage. Look at him on this very page. He seizes Arthur, seizes Ned, takes William by his little head. And they may scream and kick and call. Into the ink he dips them all. Into the inkstand 1, 2, 3, till they are black as black can be. Turn over now and you shall see. See, there they are and there they run. The blackamoor enjoys the fun. They have been made as black as crows, quite black all over, eyes and nose, and legs and arms and heads and toes, and trousers, pinafores and toys. The silly little Inky boys, because they set up such a roar and tease the harmless blackamoor.
Basically, I think it's a very simple concept. Just don't be a racist.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story. Did you see that coming when it started? It was a different time. My inner monologue. Yes.
No, but like Jack said, the moral of this story is quite good. Don't be a racist asshole. It's not something... People can't change the color of their skin. If you do, a giant won't come and dip you into his ink, but...
The wonderful thing that the story also teaches you is... even after Agrippa made the 3 asshole boys black with ink, they're still assholes. Which I think is a wonderful statement for racists. I mean, even if you were to look exactly the same way as the people that you hate for absolutely no reason, you're still a moron. I like that.
I had to Google blackamoor though.
Yes, I had to look that up too. It's an archaic word according to the dictionary. For a black African or very dark-skinned person. I've never had heard that in my life.
Same, but that could just be something from the 1800s.
Yes.
What hand sign is the second guy doing? Oh well.
Some racism stuff, I think.
We already know he's an ass, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed. I like how Agrippa was trying to teach him a lesson, but even he couldn't account for how dumb they truly are.
Yeah. Agrippa was quite nice. I mean...
Compared to some of what we are still going through, yes, they got off easy.
No, sure.
Third guy is actually goose marching. It goes with a theme, yes. Yes.
Kind of looks like he's holding a pretzel.
Agrippa was not nice, he put them all in blackface. Agrippa was trying to make them realize that the color of your skin doesn't matter ultimately. Because they were hollering at the kid because he has a darker skin than they do. And
so now he made them darker.
Now they couldn't use that as an excuse for their dumb behavior anymore. And clearly, it doesn't matter, they still did.
Yeah.
What did the birds do though? Oh, I never even realized the birds are also fully black.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I would love to tell you, Dingo, but I don't know. I don't know. Chat very quiet during the story. Understandable. If you don't know where it's gonna go, I fully get that.
We had the same reaction at first, but decided to go with it anyway.
Yes. BP apologizes. That's the beauty of it. BP never apologizes.
The story of the man that went out shooting.
This one's mine.
Yeah.
This is the man that shoots the hares. This is the coat he always wears. With game bag, powder horn and gun, he's going out to have some fun. He finds it hard without a pair of spectacles to shoot the hare. The hare sits snug in leaves and grass and laughs to see the green man pass.
Watch this in American. I only notice now how huge that gun is. Also, the hare has 5 fingers.
Not only does the hare have 5 fingers and they are about as beautifully drawn as I would draw a hand, worse than an AI would, I do want to point out that clearly this is a Dutch bunny because it was born out of a cabbage.
Lies.
Just saying. Now as the sun grew very hot and he a heavy gun had got, he lay down underneath a tree and went to sleep, as you may see. And while he slept like any top, the little hare came hop, 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 took gun and spectacles, and then on her hind legs went off again.
This is right next to I need this bunny with again.
Do it.
What a change.
It's a gunny.
That's quite bad.
Yes. Yes. It's a Digimon. First it was a bunny, then it evolved, and then it had a gun. Tell me I'm wrong. The green man awakes and sees her place with spectacles upon her face, and now she's trying all she can to shoot the sleepy green coat man. He cries and screams and runs away. The hare runs after him all day and hears him call out everywhere.
Help! Fire! Help! The hare! The hare! Hey, wait.
Yes?
Is that its tongue, or does it have...
Yeah, it's doing that.
Oh, okay, it's the shooting.
Yes.
I'm gonna regret this. Yes, you are.
Hello, silence, and too late. Now you're in. Yes.
But yeah, this story flipped really fast.
As a vegetarian, I approve of the story. At last he stumbled at the well, head over ears, and in he fell. The hare stopped short, took aim, and hark! Bang went the gun. She missed her mark. The poor man's wife was drinking up her coffee in her coffee cup. The gun shot cup and saucer through.
Oh dear!
Cried she.
What shall I do?
There lived close by the cottage where the hare's own child, the little hare. And while she stood upon her toes, the coffee fell and burned her nose.
Oh dear!
She cried with a spoon in hand.
Such fun! I do not understand.
And that's the story.
Is that gunny wearing glasses? Yes, it stole the glasses from the hunter while it was sleeping together with its gun.
Yes.
Is this Dutch art or German? German.
German. And not that you could tell, because honestly back then it was mostly the same, but yes. This is German. Also, I love how the gunny is still there, like... like the tongue gets longer and longer out of the mouth.
And its little one just standing there with a spoon.
I cannot tell you why the little hare has a spoon. I
want to eat the hunter.
I guess.
At this point.
To steal the coffee? I don't know. Sue the bunny for the coffee being on. No, sue the lady for dropping it. She should have known. She should have known.
I'm actually amazed in this story that the gunny didn't shoot
I cannot get over gunny.
the hunter. But the story is, don't hunt. Don't kill animals. Don't shoot anything.
Yeah. Basically, 400 years ago, this guy told people, just maybe be a vegetarian.
This might be a real life story, and this is why there aren't really any guns here.
True.
After this, after it was banned.
That would actually be amazing. Like, people thought this was an actual, like, news article. Oh my god, the bunnies are becoming gunnies! And then they just got rid of it. Yeah.
Gunny is absolutely amazing.
The tongue out adds concentration points. Ask any child. I do the same thing sometimes. Yeah. Occasionally I do. Wait, I didn't mean it that way.
Thought I was going to shoot the hunter in the balls. Honestly, I thought the same thing.
Should have. Honestly, should have. Yeah.
Silent's still unsure what she's doing here.
Happy
Welcome
Sunday.
to German culture.
Do you remember how I said the stories get worse?
The story of Little Sucketomb. I think this is actually the most famous one.
Yeah, you lied. Not yet. We're not even halfway through, I think. One day, Mama said,
Conrad dear, I must go out and leave you here. But mind now, Conrad, what I say, don't suck your thumb while I'm away. The great old tailor always comes to little boys who suck their thumbs. And ere they dream what he's about, he takes his great sharp scissors out and cuts their thumbs clean off. And then, you know, they never grow again.
Mama had scarcely turned her back, the thumb was in, alack, alack. The door flew open, in he ran, the great long red-legged scissor man. Oh children, see, the tailors come and caught our little sucker thumb. Snip, snap, snip, the scissors go, and Conrad cries out.
Ow, ow, ow.
Snip, snap, snip, they go so fast that both his thumbs are off at last. Mama comes home, there Conrad stands and looks quite sad and shows his hands.
Ah,
Said Mama.
I knew he'd come to naughty Little Sucketomb.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you keep sucking your thumb at this age. I should have brought out scissors for this, but I saw too late that they were here.
Please put that away.
You have a thumb?
I do have two. No, don't even joke about that. You and I are both dumb enough that like one of us sneezes accidentally and then...
Special effects.
CGI, people. CGI. German is pro-maiming children. Circa 400 years ago. Yes.
This one I've actually still heard in current age. Like a while ago I've heard someone make the expression of cutting off your thumbs if you keep them in your mouth. And that is based off this.
I spent the last 2 pages with both hands clasped over my mouth. Silence, I hope you did not get your thumbs anywhere near the inside of your mouth.
Snip, snip.
Snip, snap, snip. The police state is watching for people who suck their thumbs. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes.
But they were quite nice. And the pictures are bloodless. Can you go one page back?
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, never mind. Like there. Is that even his thumb?
Yes.
Like that looks too long to be a thumb, right?
That's what she said. Also, hello Ranger, happy Sunday. Your kids might be just a tad bit too young for these stories. Just a warning.
Oh no, if you're still working, put the headphones to Olivia.
No.
We'll keep her busy.
No, please don't. No.
She's the intended age for this stream.
As per the original author's will, not ours. Not ours. Where are the blood puddles now? Dried up already because little sucker thumb likes to clean. Yes. Did he cauterize his wounds? Yes.
Yeah, I think poor Harriet might have run by and closed it up.
Yeah.
Makes traumatized noises.
Yes. And wait, it gets worse.
I think if I was a kid, and did I do thumb sucking? No, I don't think I really did.
Don't recall.
I'm not sure how I would have responded to this story.
I can tell you how I reacted to this story. I can tell you everything about when I first got this book and read it. We were on a little weekend trip, actually. Oh, should I just start chewing my thumbnail? No. Silence.
I would grab the scissors, but put them somewhere.
Put them away for safety. My parents gave me this book when I was like 11 or so, I think, and we were sitting in a restaurant at the hotel we stayed at for the weekend. I have no idea why they got me the book. There was no like story leading up to that. But I remember while waiting... Culture. Yes. While waiting for food to come, I flipped through the book and read the stories, and I had nightmares. This one in particular stood out to me. Like the sheer gruesomeness of a kid just seemingly making one mistake and suddenly, bam, your thumbs are gone. That's messed up.
Have sucked just one thumb, she said. Well, you keep one. I believe he only cuts the ones you suck on.
Yes. That's what the scissor does for some reason. Also, what is this? Oh, the tail of the scissor.
Also, that scissor does not look sharp.
That's not making it better, Tifa.
Yeah, I know.
How little does this tailor have to do during his normal job that he can just feel that kids are sucking their thumbs when they're not supposed to, and then just come bursting through your door like, FBI, open up.
Get out of here. My thumbs are cut off. Well. Yeah, you had it coming.
Told you.
This is on you.
He knew the risks. That is true, he had been warned, yes.
He's old enough?
Clearly, yeah, clearly. He's a doctor, barber, got nothing but time. Hey, Pooplot, remember Edward Scissorhands? Kinda. Laugh at this man is running around the city and no one stops him. No, apparently the parents want this to happen. Maybe it's like a group of people. You know, they warn him in advance when they get a kid and the kid likes sucking on their thumbs. They just go, hey, maybe peek through the window occasionally, and if he does, have your scissors ready. Yeah. I'll stick with Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jank. Jack jump over the candlestick.
In this story, you would end up like Harriet and burn to ashes.
Probably yes. He's actually the mayor, only voted for him twice. Impressive. I think the hair should shoot down the thumb harvesting fiend.
No, he's the hero of this story.
True. Yes. Somehow he was.
The story of Augustus, who would not have any soup.
I like how Tifa puts in like semi-German pronunciation. Not Augustus. Augustus. Before we start, yes, Benjamin?
We have all the time.
Soup? I'm on Augustus' side.
Are you sure?
Keep that in mind.
This kid misbehaved, I'm telling you. Augustus was a chubby lad. Fat, ruddy cheeks Augustus had, and everybody saw with joy the plump and healthy boy. He ate and drank as he was told, and never let his soup get cold. But one day, one cold winter's day, he screamed out,
"Take the soup away! Oh, take the nasty soup away! I won't have any soup today!" Also, Rudy cheeks.
Oh, Rudy? Next day, now look, the picture shows how lank and lean Augustus grows. Yet though he feels so weak and ill, the naughty fellow cries out still,
"Not any soup for me, I say. Oh, take the nasty soup away. I won't have any soup today."
Can we talk about this plate? Like, I'm not sure if that's even a bowl.
Apparently it is.
That looks like a flat plate. Would you eat soup out of that?
Yes.
Fair enough. But seriously though, if you want to lose weight, refuse your soup.
And only soup. What?
You get this after refusing soup.
For one day?
Yeah.
I usually don't eat soup once a day.
Oh, no,
Just saying.
we shouldn't.
Augustus is about to have his skin burned off in searing bowl of soup. That's my guess. Let's see what happens.
You might be close.
Turns out Augustus is the soup. That's another guess. Okay, you don't get that thin after one day of not eating. We don't know.
I feel like I do if I don't eat all day.
Can confirm she does. We don't know what Augustus is doing while he is spending his other 23.59 hours of a day. I mean, maybe he is doing like super heavy weightlifting and he's burning like 20,000 calories an hour just like doing things. I don't know.
Oh, do you remember that painting? I think it's called The Scream.
Yeah, by Edward Munch.
Yeah. Is it based off of this?
I think.
What came first, Augustus or Scream?
Came later.
There you have it. It's Augustus.
I'm
Confirmed.
googling another thing for you. Edward Munch.
I think it's called
The
Scream.
Scream. 1893. This book is older.
There you have it. If you have any questions on what that painting is based off, refusing soup.
Wait, is it teaching kids to not have eating disorders because they may want to rethink this take?
No, the moral of this story is... Actually, I'm gonna say that at the end because then you can guess it yourself
Let's
as well.
finish this story first.
The third day comes, oh what a sin, to make himself so pale and thin. Yet when the soup is put on table, he screams as loud as he is able.
Not any soup for me, I say. I'll take the nasty soup away. I won't have any soup today.
He's getting skinnier and skinnier. Look at him now, the fourth day's come. He scarcely weighs a sugar plum. He's like a little bit of thread. And on the fifth day, he was dead. There you have it. What a happy ending. So
Yes.
good night, son. Sleep well and remember to eat your fucking potato soup tomorrow.
Yeah, remember how you didn't want to eat dinner today? 4 more days. Tick tock, bitch. Tick tock.
Moral, eat your food. Exactly.
That's
Eat
the idea, yes.
Everything on your plate.
Yeah.
Next Christmas I should get a copy of this book. You absolutely should.
This is about anorexia. I think there's actually like lore behind this, and like every story actually has like a history behind it. And this one is dealing with it's not general anorexia, but anorexia caused by something in particular. I forgot the exact words. I didn't do my homework before the stream, I'm sorry.
Well, for the writer, this one is quite easy. It's to teach his kids to not refuse the food that comes on the table,
Yeah,
even
eat
if
what
you
we
don't
put on
like
the
it.
table.
You eat what we give you, or you will die.
Yes. Yes, which in a very roundabout way, yes, correct. If you don't eat, you will die. But that's an oversimplification.
Because don't forget, the writer wrote this to make his kids listen to him.
Yes.
To teach them that refusing certain things or behaving a certain way will have consequences.
Yes.
No matter how rough they go.
Or you say, hey, I don't like this. Is there anything else? Not in 1700 Germany.
Not an option.
No. Then remember your preferences. No. You did not have any rights as a kid back then in Germany, basically. You were there. And you eat what was put on the table.
Yep.
That's actually still in my childhood, that was still a somewhat common thing. Like
We
when
even
you
have
had
a saying for that too.
when you had like picky eaters for kids, that it was normal that parents would get mad at them. Like the idea wasn't, oh, I'll find out why my kid doesn't like it, and then I try to find a way around that so my kid will enjoy it at some point. No, it was just, you will eat this or you won't eat anything else.
Eten wat de pot schaft. Eat what's in the pot.
That
Or
sounds
eat
way
what
too
the
neutral.
pot gets you.
That sounds way too neutral. Just saying.
But yeah, the worst thing is putting his ashes in the soup bowl. Like,
yeah.
being put in the one thing you hated so much, apparently.
I mean,
But it,
to be honest, these stories all only focus on the kid, but I think for a lot of this, the parents are to blame.
Yeah, but that's not the point, is it?
Like, I would think if your kid starved to death after 5 days of refusing soup, should the kid have eaten the soup? Yes, but the kid is a kid. The kid is not an adult. So maybe you as the parent want to take responsibility for what happened there.
Different times.
So you want Inky boys to say, if you're horrible to black people, you'll be turned into one and you would never want that. What an interesting take. No, that is about don't be racist.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny that Germany, which has such a recent historical happenstance when it comes to people being racist to the point of World War II, it wasn't always like that. Which, I don't know. I think it's easy to think it was always like this. Like, oh, people in Germany were always racist, that's why stuff like Hitler happened. But no, actually it wasn't. Dude, what?
I think you came in later, but there was a guy, or there was one of the first stories that
Yes.
was about Inky boys.
Yes, the Inky boys. Are you ready for the story of Fidgety Philip, Tifa?
Yes, I am.
We're looking down because we wrote down who narrates and who doesn't.
Yeah, I had to see who was what.
Let me see if Philip can be a little gentleman. Let me see if he is able to sit still for once at table.
Thus Papa bade Philip behave, and Mama looked very grave. But Fidgety Phil won't sit still, he wriggles and giggles, and then I declare, swings backwards and forwards and tilts up his chair, just like any rocking horse.
Philip, I'm getting cross.
See the naughty, restless child, growing still more rude and wild, till his chair falls over quite. Philip screams with all his might, catches at the cloth, but then that makes matters worse again. Down upon the ground they fall, glasses, plates, knives, forks and all. How Mama did fret and frown when she saw them tumbling down, and Papa made such a face. Philip is in sad disgrace. What's the mother holding there?
A dual-wielding monocle. Glasses, basically.
Like, where is Philip? Where is he? Fairly covered up, you see. Cloth and all are lying on him. He has pulled down all upon him. What a terrible to-do. Dishes, glasses snapped in two. Here a knife, there a fork. Philip, this is cruel work. Table also bare, and poor Mama and poor Papa look quite cross and wonder how they shall have their dinner now.
Yes. Give a kid a break, ADHD is a thing. No, not 400 years ago in Germany. When your father told you to not move, you will not move.
Phil fucked up the whole dinner. Augustus could have had that. I know, right? He could have been saved.
No, Trey could have had that because Trey is best boy.
She dabbing, he dancing.
I think this story also kind of shows you like the social dynamics back then. It wasn't the mother speaking up because she was just there to be quiet. She made the food. It was the father yelling at him. Mama never said a single thing. She just sat there to witness this. And instead of now helping their kid up, no, they're just mad.
It probably was good food, honestly.
Yes, trying to stay still is so painful. Yeah, it can be, but not 400 years ago in Germany. I keep repeating that, but that's just how it was.
It's definitely painful now.
There's also not enough info to know if he has ADHD. Does it matter? Actually, I think, if I recall this correctly from what I looked up about this, this is about... Is it about ADHD? I want to say it is.
Well, it's a kid with energy, whether he has ADHD or not.
Because this story became so prevalent in culture after this book got released that Zappel-Philipp syndrome, as in Fidgety Philip syndrome, actually was the colloquial word for ADHD. Yes, I just looked it up. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Philip made it places, at least.
The story about him did, yes. Which...
In a good way or a bad one?
No, I would say in a bad
Philip,
way,
though.
because a lot of people don't understand that people who are like this aren't doing it to spite you.
Yeah.
That's just how they are.
It's like, oh, you can't just do this.
Yeah. No one fidgets to be rude. Exactly. To go around now saying, I have fidgety Philip syndrome. They might give you weird looks.
Yeah, but if they Google it, it's wait. Does that work in English as well?
I looked it up in German, I don't know.
Because in German, you could actually say that.
Fidgety Philip syndrome. Yes, the cartoon Fidgety Philip, the banner of Western ADHD diagnosis, depicts a restless child exhibiting hyperactive behaviors with hyperarousability and or hypermotor restlessness during sitting, as per ScienceDirect.com.
So
yes.
You can actually say it.
Phil Trailblazer, food ruiner, but trailblazer. I mean, his mom is just standing there dabbing, so was it really that bad?
It's, where's my food? I saw my plate here just now.
Yeah, it's... yeah. Can safely say I've never brought down a table. Not yet. See if you can keep it that way. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but it's not something people do on purpose or want to ever do, even just by accident. One time in kindergarten during snack time, I stretched out my arms and accidentally knocked the kids' food off the table. But it's an accident.
Yeah, it happens.
I pushed off plenty of things off of tables and stuff by accident.
It sucks, but
yeah.
You know.
No use crying over spilled Philip. You ready for the story of Johnny Head and Air, Tifa?
That actually ended quite alrightish. Like the worst thing that happened in the story is that he took the dinner along.
Yeah, but we don't know how the kid is doing underneath the tablecloth.
That is very true.
I mean, forks and knives fell too. You know?
Yeah, that is true.
I do that stuff on purpose. Did your kids ask you for a cat and you're trying to teach them what that feels like? Like, clonk.
Feels that for sure.
Possibly. As he trudged along to school, it was always Johnny's rule to be looking at the sky and at the clouds that floated by. But what just before him lay in his way, Johnny never thought about, so that everyone cried out,
"Look at little Johnny there! Little Johnny, head in air!"
Running just in Johnny's way came a little dog one day. Johnny's eyes were still astray, up on high, in the sky, and he never heard them cry.
"Johnny, mind, the dog is nigh!"
Bump, dump, down they fell with such a thump, dog and Johnny, in a lump.
I sure hope the dog is okay though.
They fell so dramatically. So dramatically. The dog is like, where's my Oscar?
This dog better be alive. I didn't read this one.
I hope so.
There's a video of a cat doing it, and when I first watched it with Liam, we both said it was me. You should just go through with it.
I feel that.
Another Beth tale. Beth, don't trip over dogs.
Please don't. Once, with head as high as ever, Johnny walked beside the river. Johnny watched the swallows trying, which was cleverest at flying. Oh, what fun! Johnny watched the bright round sun going in and coming out. This was all he thought about. So he strode on, only think, to the river's very brink, where the bank was high and steep, and the water very deep, and the fishes in a row stared to see him coming so. One step more, oh, sad to tell, headlong in poor Johnny fell, and the fishes in dismay wagged their tails and swam away. She doesn't look where she's walking like ever, she trips on herself. Beth, stop doing that. There lay Johnny on his face with his nice red writing case, but as they were passing by, two strong men had heard him cry, and with sticks, these two strong men hooked poor Johnny out again.
Poor Johnny looking
awfully dead.
Very dead there.
Also, I like how
the fish in the corner.
The fishes just cuddle together.
Why are the fish just hovering over the water so that they can see Johnny?
No, they're German fish.
Head in the air.
Yes, just like German fish. It's a thing over here. Is that not the case everywhere? And the fish just float.
But happy end, he's still alive. Tricked you.
Yes. Oh, you should have seen him shiver when they pulled him from the river. He was in a sorry plight, dripping wet and such a fright. Wet all over, everywhere, clothes and arms and face and hair. Johnny never will forget what it is to be so wet. And the fishes, 1, 2, 3, are come back again, you see. Up they came the moment after to enjoy the fun and laughter. Each popped out his little head, and to tease poor Johnny said,
Silly little Johnny, look, you've lost your writing book.
Yeah.
So yeah, the worst thing in this story, if you keep looking up in the air, you'll trip over dogs, fall in the water, and lose your writing book.
And fish will make fun of you. Fish who like to float on the surface of the water. Not because they're dead, just because they can. Because they're looking at you and they're laughing at you.
At least he's alive. He looked super dead before.
Yes.
This fish really laughing in his face. Yes, they are.
So this is quite literally watch where you're going or deeper, don't daydream. Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. There's one story for like every kind of thing a parent will occasionally get mad at their child for. That's the whole idea of this book, I would say. No?
Yeah, kind
I think
of.
that's fair. Yeah.
I guess your typical things.
I wouldn't be able to take that. Guess you would just grab the fish and then just...
I'd eat them for dinner.
I would stop being a vegetarian for fish laughing at me. Yeah, this one was nice. This one was nice. Nothing really happened other than the dog having been tumbled over.
We'll assume the dog is alive.
Yeah. Those fish would never be able to tell another soul. Well, we still have one more.
Yeah, this is the last one of this series. The Story of Flying Robert. When the rain comes tumbling down in the country or the town, all good little girls and boys stay at home and mind their toys. Robert thought,
no, when it pours, it is better out of doors.
rain it did, and in a minute, Bob was in it. Here you see him, silly fellow, underneath his red umbrella.
Umbrello. You did it again.
I said it and I was like, I should have gone with fella. Aw, darn it. What a wind! Wow, how it whistles through the trees and flowers and thistles. It has caught his red umbrella. Now look at him, silly fellow. Up he flies to the skies. No one heard his screams and cries. Through the clouds the rude wind bore him, and his hat flew on before him. Soon they got to such a height, they were nearly out of sight, and the hat went up so high that it nearly touched the sky. No one ever yet could tell where they stopped or where they fell. Only this one thing is plain, Bob was never seen again.
I love the umbrella part. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the moral of this story is though. When it's really windy, don't take out your umbrella or
when
you'll
your
fly
parents
off.
tell you, you stay inside. You stay the frig inside.
Oh, that's it.
Don't think about why they tell you. You just stay inside. You do what your parents tell you. You will do as you're told. If we say eat your soup, you will eat your soup. If we tell you don't suck your thumbs, you don't suck your thumbs. If we tell you it's raining, don't go outside, you don't go outside. Living life as a child in a German family 400 years ago was easy. Just do exactly as you're told. What could go wrong?
Well,
You can stand under my umbrella. Hello, hello, oh, 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 oh.
I like how we at least changed the color of the umbrella. We had a green umbrella at the beginning.
I can't get over Rihanna events.
Rihanna killed me. Didn't even see that first.
You could have said fella, but no, you said fellow, and you just committed and you went with umbrella, and I love you for it.
You said I should go with umbrella.
Yeah, Thank you, that was wonderful.
No, but seriously though, imagine you are the kid in this story. At what point do you let go of the umbrella?
When you were never seen again. Yeah, she went for that one too. She stretched a bit.
Otherwise the plane and again doesn't rhyme.
Just say plan. Only this one thing is plan. Bob was never seen again.
Yeah, that works. Wait, can you give me the actual book? I want to see if it rhymes in German.
Yeah. Ta-da!
We have the hardcover.
Yes.
With slightly better pictures, actually.
Schirm und Robert fliegen dort durch die Wolken immer fort und der Hut fliegt weit voran, stößt zuletzt am Himmel an. Wo der Wind sie hingetragen, ja, das weiß kein Mensch zu sagen. It rhymes perfectly in German and the text is very different. Because here they talk about it never touched the sky, and in the German original it says he flew so far away he bumped his head into the sky, like the edge of it. That's pretty impressive.
And then came down and crashed.
Yeah.
I'm laughing about it myself. Tomorrow you'll wake up and you'll be like, umbrella, oh.
11 out of 10 umbrella. Like, another Kickstarter idea, Tifa. Not an umbrella, but an umbrella.
That works. Can do the entire song like that.
If you spell umbrella with a W at the end, like low, like umbrella and low, could it be like an umbrella that you hold down so that when you step into a puddle it doesn't splash up? $1 million idea.
Quite smart.
$1 million idea.
German's better for sure. Yeah, it is, but that's usually the case when it comes to translating.
Yeah.
If this was originally written in English, it would have been better in the English version.
Yes. Yes, it would have been.
So my mom yells at my nephew, I told you not to get up. Literally happening in my front room. Sit down! Snip.
Snip, snap, snip. Lock the door before the tailor comes inside. I'm just saying, you don't want that to happen in your house. No. Tifa and I argued for a good 2 hours how we are going to do this. Because Tifa really wanted to go through these stories and her idea was to make it a redeem. And I said, let's not do that. Because some of these stories are wild. And if we're streaming, for example, Pokemon, and when somebody does that redeem, and then we whip out a story like this, I'm not sure everybody who comes there to watch Pokemon wants to watch a kid's thumbs get cut off.
But that's why I said only redeemable like during the just chatting in the beginning. And then we have one of these short stories. And we can talk about burning Harriet, that's fine.
Tifa tried to come up with other things, and I was like, how about we just do the entire book? Yeah. And then, if you want to learn about these stories, you come in, we go through the thing, and then we did it. And here we are.
We still have one more book.
Yes, there's more.
Which is a bit longer as well. It's cut into 7 stories, which all lead up to one conclusion, basically.
A grand finale.
A grand finale, which is pretty good, if you ask me. Like, I'm not gonna say I enjoyed the finale.
I didn't.
But it sticks true to German bedtime stories.
Yes. Should use one of these as the enigmatic text I need to bring in for my web design class. You could.
You should.
I feel like you definitely could. Tifa, how about we take a short break, let Struwwelpeter, shock-headed Peter and funny pictures and stories, sink in with all of you for a moment. And then we come back for another book we have prepared for all of your pleasure. Once again, link down below, Project Gutenberg, book is public domain. You can read it, you can buy hard copies yourself, you can support the people that still print these. It exists. it's there. Check it out yourself if you want to.
Indeed. And don't forget, don't play with matches and don't suck your thumbs during our break.
BRB, we have returned. It's time for more German bedtime stories.
Snipping off your thumbs. Imaginary scissors, since my scissors were stolen from me.
Yes, for safety reasons. This one is Max and Maurice, a juvenile history in 7 tricks by William Busch.
In German, it's actually Max and Moritz, because Moritz is a very German name, and I'm not sure why they decided to go for Maurice. I'm guessing because Moritz.
Because it's not Maurice, it's Maurice.
Maurice?
You're saying it Dutch.
Maurice?
Wait, there's more. We must have been such good little children. We prepared 2 books just in case, because we didn't know how long we would need for one.
Yeah, this one is longer though.
Yes, this is one long story compared to 10 very short ones.
About 2 asshole children.
In case you didn't expect that already. This is Max and Maurice, the titular heroes of the story. Well, protagonists, not heroes. Are you ready, Tifa?
I am not ready. Yes, I am ready.
Preface. Preface. How oft we read or hear... Actually, wait. Should I do this one with a German accent? Because I feel like I should, but I'll leave it up to you. Tell me what you think.
You have subtitles, so if you can't hear him, you can read along.
I'll give you the first one for free in German accent. I'll try to at least. How oft we read or hear of boys we almost stand in fear of. For example, take these stories of 2 youths named Max and Maurice. Hey, I made it rhyme.
Yes, it rhymes.
Who, instead of early turning their young minds to useful learning, often leered with horrid features at their lessons and their teachers.
I can't do a German accent, so you're not getting one from me. Look now at the empty head. He is for mischief always ready, teasing creatures, climbing fences, stealing apples, pears and quinces. Is of course a deal more pleasant and far easier for the present than to sit in schools or churches, fixed like roosters on their perches. But oh dear, oh dear, oh dairy, when the end comes sad and dreary, it's a dreadful thing to tell that on Max and Maurice fell. All they did this book rehearses, both in pictures and in verses.
I love how you misread dairy into dairy. So suddenly this is a story about milk products? And when dreary become dreary?
It has milk products in it. I know.
Does it?
It does.
We will see. We will see. Love a German accent. Okay, that's good enough for me. Trick first. To most people who have leisure, raising poultry gives great pleasure. First, because the eggs they lay us, for the care we take repay us. Secondly, that now and then we can dine on roasted hen. Thirdly, of their hens and gooses feathers men make various uses. Some folks like to rest their heads in the night on feather beds. One of these was Widow Tibbets, whom the cut you see exhibits. Hence were hers in numbers 3, and a cock of majesty. Max and Maurice took a view, fell to thinking what to do.
I like how the chicken butts are basically peaches.
More like apples, but why are we looking at chickens' butts?
They're kind of being pushed in your face here.
Yes. Let me press this button. 1, 2, 3, as soon as set, they have sliced a loaf of bread. Cut each piece again in 4, each a finger thick, no more. These two cross threads they tie. Like a letter X they lie in the widow's yard with care. stretched by those two rascals there.
Peaches for me, thank you.
Scarce the cock had seen the sight when he up and crew with might, not the might. Cock-a-doodle-doodle-doo, tuck-tuck-tuck the trio flew. Cock and hens, like fowls unfed, gobbled each a piece of bread. But they found on taking thought, each of them was badly caught.
This one is really sad.
Every way they pull and twitch, this strange cat's cradle to unhitch. Up into the air they fly, Jiminy, oh Jiminy.
That's fucked up, it really is.
On a tree behold them dangling in the agony of strangling, and their necks grow long and longer, and their groans grow strong and stronger. Each lays quickly one egg more, then they cross to the other shore.
So yeah, these kids killed 4 chickens.
Because they were bored. Widow Tibbets in her chamber by these death cries waked from slumber, rushes out with bodeful thought. Heavens, what sight her vision caught! From her eyes the tears are streaming.
Oh, my cares, my toil, my dreaming, life's fairest hope,
says she,
hangs upon that apple tree.
Heartsick, you may well suppose, for the carving knife she goes, cuts the bodies from the bow, hanging cold and lifeless, no. And in silence, bathed in tears, through her house door disappears. This was the bad boy's first trick, but the second follows quick.
9.
Correct. HBO presents My Favorite Letters X presents German Stories 9 p.m. Sundays.
This one
Sure.
made me so mad. Like these poor chickens. I would have thrown these kids off the roof.
I mean, Max and Maurice haven't been caught yet.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes. This is the Germany we've come to now. I hope not. I fully hope that I do not in any way, shape or form give you the same vibes as these stories that Tifa chose that we read for you. I'm just saying.
Seemsy, cheers.
Happy Sunday, how are you doing?
But yeah, we go through 7 misdeeds Max and Maurice have done, or tricks that Max and Maurice are going through before we get to the justice part.
Also, pulling that German accent is incredibly hard for me. I'll speak normal for the rest of this. I have to actually think how to say these things.
Well, I can't even do it. This was the bad boy's first trick.
What accent was that supposed to be?
I wanted to do
Can you do that again?
This was the bad boy's first trick. I would have done German, but I can't do it.
You sound like you are trying to go for like a knockoff of a Scottish accent.
No. I can't even do my own accent.
Fair enough.
I can't do accents. I can't tell accents. I can't say them. I can't recognize them.
Why my favorite letter is X, not accents. Jack, not really German confirmed. I guess. Now the jig is up. Now you know the truth.
Fake German.
Yeah. Trick second.
Why is it not second trick, but trick second?
I just copied the text, Tifa. I didn't read the book.
It's all German.
Yes.
When the worthy widow Tibbets, whom the cut on the left exhibits, had recovered on the morrow from the dreadful shock of sorrow, she, as soon as grief would let her think, began to think it were better just to take the dead, the dear ones, who in life were walking here once, and in a still noonday hour them well roasted to devour. True, it did seem almost wicked when they lay so bare and naked, picked and singed before the blaze, they that once in happier days in the yard or garden ground all day long went scratching round. Ah, Frau Tibbets wept anew, and poor Spitz was with her too.
Spitz is a race
dog.
of breed. That's the little cute dog over there.
Yeah, these
So,
poor chickens.
The moral of the story here so far is when your friends die, just eat them. Right?
Well, you might as well. These were hard times, probably. Like you wouldn't waste your chickens. I mean, if the dog dies, you eat it.
Oh, it's about animals. Yeah, sure. Trick part 2. This time it's tricky. Just wait.
Max and Maurice smelled the savor.
Climb the roof!
Cried each young shaver. Through the chimney now with pleasure they behold the tempting treasure, headless in the pan there lying, hissing, browning, steaming, frying.
That's a very long pan.
It was meant to be. At that moment down the cellar, dreaming not what soon befell her, Widow Tibbets went for sour kraut, which she would oft devour. That didn't go well. With exceeding great desire, warmed a little at the fire. Up there on the roof meanwhile, they're doing things in style. Max already with forethought a long fishing line has brought.
If you're wondering why the rhymes are like that, I don't know either. Again, I just copied the text.
Schnup-de-wup, there goes, oh Gemini, or Gemini. What did we say that word was?
I have no idea how you're gonna pull off that rhyme, and I'm happy you're reading this one.
Okay, wait.
Schnup-de-wup, first of all.
Schnup-de-wup.
Thank you.
There goes, oh Jiminy, one hand dangling up the chimney. Schnoop-de-whoop, a second bird. Schnoop-de-whoop, up comes the third. Presto, number 4 they haul. Schnoop-de-whoop, we have them all. Spitz looks on, we must allow, but he barks.
Row wow, row wow.
Schnoop-de-whoop.
Schnoop-de-whoop is my favorite word right now.
I'm gonna use that at work next time.
And
Schnoop-de-whoop.
Schnoop-de-whoop, I just finished the reportings.
But the rogues are down in stanter, from the roof and off they canter. Ha! I guess there'll be a humming, here's the Widow Tibbets coming. Rooted stood she to the spot, when the pan her vision caught.
They're carrying the chickens by the legs.
I like how one in the top left corner looks like a chicken nugget already.
Little bit, yeah. Yeah.
The
Kinda.
one on the top right corner, you just have like a rib case.
Yeah, like maybe Maurice already ate part of it.
Probably.
The way down the ladder was really long. Had to have a snack.
Might as well eat it already.
Yeah.
Gone was every blessed bird,
Horrid Spitz!
was her first word.
Oh, you Spitz, you monster, you! Let me beat him black and blue!
And the heavy ladle thwack comes down on poor Spitz's back. Loud he yells with agony, for he feels his conscience free. Max and Maurice, dinner over, in a hedge snored under cover, and of that great hen feast now, each has but a leg to show. This was now the second trick, but the third will follow quick.
Remember how the previous book we went through teaches you not to abuse dogs? Well, apparently, if you are a widow and 4 of your chickens just got killed, it's fine. Spoilers, it's not.
Because she
don't beat your
thought
dog.
the dog ate it. So she tried to discipline the dog.
Have you ever seen a dog of that size eat 4 chickens which were roughly the same size as the dog?
Well, what would you sooner expect? A dog that you left alone with 4 roasting chickens to eat it?
Or
2 kids?
asshole kids came through the chimney to steal my food.
Yeah, like which one is more likelier?
True, true. Also, once again, these rhymes make more sense when you look at them, but Max and Maurice, dinner over, in a hedge, snored under cover. They tried.
They did try.
They tried. You all ready for trick third?
It's a dirty one.
Through the town and country round was one Mr. Buck renowned. Sunday coats and weekday sack coats, bobtails, swallowtails and frock coats, gaiters, breeches, hunting jackets, waistcoats with commodious pockets, and other things too long to mention claimed Mr. Taylor Buck's attention. Or if anything wanted doing in the way of darning, sewing, piercing, patching, if a button needed to be fixed or put on. Anything of any kind, anywhere, before, behind, Master Buck could do the same, for it was his life's great aim. Therefore all the population held him high in estimation.
This book sometimes seems really difficult, and this is also aimed at like 6-7-year-olds.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here like, what's he talking about?
Adjective, commodious. First, formal, especially of furniture or building, roomy and comfortable. Yes, big pockets. Who doesn't like big pockets?
That is very true.
Max and Maurice tried to invent ways to plague this worthy gent. Right before the Sartor's dwelling ran a swift stream, roaring, swelling. This swift stream abridged its span, and the road across it ran. Max and Maurice, naught could awe them, took a saw when no one saw them. Ritze-ratze, riddle-diddle, sawed a gap across the middle. When this feat was finished well, suddenly was heard a yell.
I like how the saw goes riddle-diddle. I'm gonna get a saw, I think we have one in the basement.
Yeah.
Start sawing something and see if it goes riddle-diddle.
No, before it goes riddle-diddle, it needs to go ritze-ratze.
Ritze-ratze, riddle-diddle. I'm gonna come.
Would you say that any saw you have ever used went ritze-ratze?
Ritze-ratze.
I like how the people translating this to English just gave up at some of the German words to emulate sounds, like schnuppdiwupp and ritze-ratze.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how you would translate that. Ritze-ratze.
I don't know either, but then again, I don't get paid to translate books.
What does the saw say?
Ritze-ratze.
Ritze-ratze.
Ritz-ratz, ritz-ratz. Basically that. Basically that.
Hello there, come out you Buck. Taylor, Taylor, muck, muck, muck. Buck could bear all
Buck could bear all sorts of jeering, jibes and jokes in silence hearing. But this insult roused such anger, nature couldn't stand it any longer. I was trying.
Muck, muck, muck.
I have no idea. Wild with fury up he started, with his yardstick out he darted, for once more that frightful jeer
Muck, muck, muck
rang loud and clear. Apparently hearing muck, muck, muck makes Germans insanely angry.
Well, it's an insult, but what does it mean?
Maybe it rhymes with buck?
I need to read the German version after, because I didn't do that.
I think they say muck, muck, muck.
Muck, muck, muck. But that's not an insult.
I feel very angry right now.
It's your German blood. It starts to pump harder.
Yeah, I don't know even. On the bridge one leap he makes, crash, beneath his weight it breaks.
His shoes annoy me.
Can we really quick talk about how Max and Maurice are just standing over there like dancing? Like...
Yeah, because this makes them happy.
A man falling into a river, potentially drowning. Yes, very funny.
These kids are assholes. We already figured that out by now.
True. Once more rings the cry.
Muck, muck.
In, head foremost, plumps poor Buck, while while the scared boys were skedaddling down the brook, 2 geese came paddling.
His shoes got blown up.
That's
yeah.
how hard he fell.
This is a fast streaming river.
Yes. On the legs of these 2 geese, with a death clutch, Buck did seize, and with both geese well in hand, flutters out upon dry land. Geese, the true heroes of the story. For the rest he did not find things exactly to his mind. Soon it proved poor Buck had broader, dreadfully bellyache from the water. Yeah, he basically got dysentery. Wait. Noble Mrs. Buck, she rises, fully equal to the crisis. With a hot, flat iron she draws the cold out famously. Soon 'twas in the mouths of men all through town.
Buck's up again!
This was Bad Boy's third trick, but the fourth will follow quick.
Can we talk about if you have a belly ache, you
From
should...
getting dysentery from drinking contaminated water, no less.
Maybe from any kind of belly ache though, you just need to get a hot iron.
No.
Fody, do you still have stomach problems?
Have you...
Asking for a friend?
Fody, maybe you wouldn't have IBS if you just let Beth iron your stomach. If you thought of
Beth, heat up the iron!
No.
Preferably like an actual iron.
Don't. Do not ever.
Get away from me!
Do not ever put something searingly hot on another person.
We do know what happened to Harriet, right, in the previous stories.
Yes. I mean, she didn't listen to the cats and there are no cats here, so this is clearly safe.
That's
no,
true.
it's not.
Fair.
Do not put a hot iron on a person's body anywhere. Don't do that.
Yeah, but this story teaches us that he will get back up and is healed. This is like modern medicine.
No, it's not. I've never met somebody who had like pneumonia from being out in the cold, and then they just took an iron and just went, and they're like, yeah, no, I'm better now.
Yeah, but the people you have met that had it, maybe they took weeks to get healed. This is like almost instantly.
I think Buck's up again from the pain as he dies. I know. I was afraid Beth would drop it on my crotch. Please no fire metal. Well, if you look closely, the bottom part of the hot iron plate is kind of there. No?
I only notice now, by the way, how she's pressing it down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't do this at home.
Yeah, don't.
No.
Trick 4th. An old saw runs somewhat so. Man must learn while here below. Not alone the ABC raises man in dignity. Not alone in reading, writing, reason finds a work in fighting. Not alone to solve the double. Rule of 3 shall men make trouble. But must here with pleasure sages teach the wisdom of the ages. Of this wisdom an example to the world was Master Lempel. For this cause to Max and Maurice this man was the chief of horrors. For a boy who loves bad tricks, wisdom's friendship never seeks. With the clerical profession, smoking always was a passion. And this habit, without question, while it helps promote digestion, is a comfort no one can well begrudge a good old man. When the day's vexations close, and he sits to seek repose, Max and Maurice, flinty-hearted, on another trick have started, thinking how they may attack a poor old man through his tobacco.
Attacker? Poor old man for his tobacco.
It doesn't work.
Can you tell that this book too is very biased towards people that are not children? Because so this guy is a teacher. I get that right, no?
Yes, I would say so.
All teachers are smoking, and that's just how it is, apparently.
In this time, most men smoke tobacco, though. Jima strikes again. Tobacco, 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 oh, 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 oh.
Actually, I think the lyrics are a taco, 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 Tuesday. I tried.
That was absolutely horrible.
Benjima, I will pay you money if you somehow make a Rihanna album. The world needs it. The world needs it. I can't look at this. He looks 169 years old. Yes, because he's a teacher, he likes smoking as all teachers do, and clearly smoking is good for you because it helps with digestion.
At this time, smoking was good for you.
That's
it
what
was
they
widely believed smoking was good for you, and everyone smoked.
Yes, because I mean, just looking at it without the scientific facts, like burning things and inhaling the burning things cannot be bad for you. But that's a different thing.
That can be said about many things. That looks like a demon. Once when Sunday morning breaking, pious hearts to gladness waking, poured its light where in the temple at his organ sate Herr Lempel. These bad boys for mischief ready stole into the good man's study, where his darling meerschaum stands. The Inky boys are back.
No, that's just the shade.
That's the back. See, his hands are still fine.
Yes.
This Max holds in both his hands, while young Maurice, scapegrace born, climbs and gets the powder horn, and with speed the wicked soul pours the powder in the bowl. Hush and quick, now ride about, for already church is out.
I found my ball. Now you know who's doing that to you. It's Max and Maurice.
If something's off, you know what's wrong. Lempel closes the church door, glad to seek his home once more.
That's a giant key.
That is a huge key. All his service well got through, takes his keys and music too, and his way delighted wends homeward to his silent friends. Full of gratitude he there lights his pipe and takes his chair.
How big is that pipe? Like, look at the bottom picture.
It's massive.
That's what she said.
Just like the keys.
True. And Jima's the true kobold. Him and Rihanna.
He says,
no joy is found like contentment on earth's round.
Fizz whiz bum, the pipe is burst, almost shattered into dust. Coffee pot and water jug, snuff box, inkstand, tumbler mug, table, stove, and easy chair, all are flying through the air in a lightning powder flash with a most tremendous crash.
This looks like the Big Bang, no? Like, this doesn't look like something you survive.
Yeah, just the moment dinosaurs got extinct.
This is the last frame in a Dragon Ball Z chapter. And then on the next panel, the evil guy is dead.
He might be after this. When the smoke cloud lifts and clears, Lempel on his back appears. God be praised, still breathing there, only somewhat worse for wear. Nose, hands, eyebrows, once like yours, now are black as any Moor's. Burnt the last thin spare of hair, and his pate is wholly bare. Who shall now the children guide, lead their steps to wisdom's side? Who shall now for Master Lempel lead the service in the temple? Now that his old pipe is out, shattered, smashed, gone up the sprout.
Yeah, I don't know why they went there either. It's completely unnecessary.
Yeah. This is a different writer, by the way, as the other one.
Yes.
Time will heal the rest once more, but the pipe's best days are over. This was the bad boy's fourth trick, but the fifth will follow quick.
Yeah.
You know, before these kids were already dicks. Now this is like attempted murder.
Yes. Yes.
No. My pipe.
Did you, I mean, besides the casual racism that they flung in there, you did get the whole, his pipe broke, now he can't be a teacher anymore.
Well, he also looked pretty mutilated. Like he can't show his face anymore.
Why not? Because he's black now?
No, because I think everything burned to crisp.
Is that it? Because all it says is that he is black now. And this is like a cartoon kind of thing. Is it from the soot? Or did he actually lose hands, nose and eyebrows? Because from the picture I can honestly not tell.
Well, we're not certain that he actually loses his job, but he is wondering who would now step in for him to lead the service. So it's kind of like...
He looks fucked up, to be fair. Yes.
I think he's just burnt to a crisp.
If he now, lost part of his face, I get it.
I can't even recognize a face.
Anyway, the most important thing is that the pipe broke and now he can't be a cleric anymore and teach people and do church. That's just how it is, right?
Well, no, it literally says that time will heal him, but not the pipe.
Yeah, and that's why he can't do it anymore. He wasn't... It could just be the artwork, because he wasn't exactly doing great before.
Yeah, that is also true.
Lempel got hired for his inner values, not his looks. Yeah, he looks like Akbar. It's a trap! That's where Star Wars stole the design from.
Trick 5th. We're getting there.
Slowly, but yes. If in village or in town you've an uncle settled down, always treat him courteously. Uncle will be pleased, there be. In the morning...
Morning to you. Any errand I can do you.
Errand?
Any errand I can do you.
Errand. From Samus Aran, from Mitra. Fetch whatever he may need, pipe to smoke and news to read, or should some confounded thing prick us back or bite or sting, nephew then will be nearby, ready to his help to fly, or a pinch of snuff maybe sets him sneezing violently.
Prosit, uncle, good health to you. God be praised, much good may do you. Or he comes home late perchance.
That's my line.
What? No? Oh,
Do you see the quotation marks?
I didn't see it there.
Tifa cannot deal with me being...
Sorry. Going over the line.
Or he comes home late perchance, pulls his boot off then at once, fetches slippers and his cap and warm gown his limbs to wrap. Be your constant care, good boy. What shall give your uncle joy? Let's not read too much into that because it's really bad. Max and Maurice neither mention had not any such intention. See now how they tried their wits, these bad boys, on Uncle Fritz. What kind of bird a Maybug was they knew, I dare say. In the trees they may be found flying, crawling, wriggling around.
Gonna pay the troll toll to get into these poison.
Yes. Max and Maurice, great pains taking, from a tree these bugs are shaking.
Do you want to talk about how huge they are?
No, I'd rather not, because they are the size of their fists.
They're the size of kittens.
Basically, Germany a few hundred years ago was basically Australia in terms of insect sizes. That's all I need to know. In their cornucopiae papers, they collect these pinching crapers. Soon they are deposited in the foot of Uncle's bed. With his peaked nightcap on, Uncle Fritz to bed has gone, tucks the clothes in, shuts his eyes, and in sweetest slumber lies.
Poor Uncle Fritz.
Kritze, Kratze, come the Tartars, single file from their night quarters.
I like how he has a chamber pot under his bed. These are the times we live in.
And the captain boldly goes straight at Uncle Fritzy's nose.
I would scream. Wah!
He cries,
What have we here?
seizing that grim grenadier. Uncle, wild with fright, up springeth, and the bedclothes from him flingeth.
He wasn't even wearing pants earlier. Ouch!
He seizes two more scape, graces from his shin and nape. Crawling, flying to and fro, round the buzzing rascals go.
Did they cut the candle?
I think they're stealing the light. It's very dramatic.
It kinda
Yeah.
is. I would scream too, honestly, though.
Yes, I would. Those bugs are fucking huge. Yes.
That's
Yes,
nightmare material.
those are old German bugs. Wild with fury, Uncle Fritz stamps and slashes them to bits. Oh, be joyful, all gone by is the Maybuck's devil try. Uncle Fritz his eyes can close, once again in sweet repose. This was the bad boy's 5th trick, but the 6th will follow quick. Bugs were bigger back then, buggier also. Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad
Those
evolution brought those down. His eyelids look soon shut. I thought the exact same thing when I thought this picture, and then I was like, wait, did these kids really sew his eyes shut? But then when we started reading him, like, okay, that's just...
Yeah, fighting for your life, fighting off these humongous bugs makes you so tired you get wrinkles on your eyelids. That's just how it is.
It's to show his age, I suppose.
Yeah, it's the price your body pays to pull off that massive feat.
Yeah. But it absolutely looks like it. Trick 6th. Easter days have come again, when the pious bakermen bake all sorts of sugar things, plum cakes, ginger cakes and rings. Max and Maurice feel an ache in their sweet tooth for some cake, but the baker thoughtfully locks his shop and takes the key. Who would steal then? This must do. Wriggle down the chimney flue. Ratch! There come the boys, my chimney black as ravens down the chimney.
Chimney.
Puff, into a chest they drop, full of flour up to the top. Out they crawl from under cover, just as white as chalk all over.
Ravens.
All waiting, okay, what's it gonna say?
Now they're the flowery boys, because now they're covered in flour. So, yes.
But the Cracknell's precious treasure on a shelf they spy with pleasure. Those are pretzels, I think.
Yeah, what is Max doing to Maurice's behind?
But they look like alien heads.
What is Hans doing? Yes.
It's fusing into his butt.
This is where we learn that Maurice is actually Max's hand puppet.
Knacks! The chair breaks, down they go.
It's Knacks.
Oh yeah, Knacks, sorry.
Wow.
That's German. Schwap! Into a trough of dough.
Do you see where this is going?
All enveloped now in dough, see the monuments of woe. In the baker comes and snickers when he sees the sugar lickers. 1, 2, 3, the brats behold, into 2 good breads or broads are rolled.
Brot is bread in German.
Eat the fucking kids. Wow.
So he grabs the kids covered in dough and starts rolling them up on his workspace desk thing.
Well, they are thieves. There's an oven all red hot, shove 'em in as quick as thought.
German history in 3, 2, 1. We finally found someone who don't fuck around.
Yeah. Look at how happy this guy looks though.
Yeah.
Having filled breads for dinner.
Yeah. Didn't age well.
It's not just the Dutch that do cannibalism. It's 1800 Germany as well. Rough! Out with them from the heat. They are brown and good to eat. Now you think they've paid the debt. No, my friend, they're living yet.
Don't ask how. Just accept.
Knusper, knusper like 2 mouse. Through their roofs they gnaw in a trice.
Like 2 mouse? You said mouse.
Like 2 mice.
Yeah, now you said it.
I said mice. Well, it doesn't matter. Knusper,
No.
knusper.
Knusper, knusper, 2 mouse.
Oh.
Thank you, Fody. Thank you.
Okay. Like a mouse, through their roofs they gnaw in a trice.
Knusper, knusper. Keep that in mind with your schnuppdiwups and your ritze ratze.
And the baker cries,
You bet, there's the rascals living yet.
This was the bad boy's 6th trick, but the last will follow quick.
Last, you say? Why would that be? Clearly, Max and Maurice have learned and are leaving and do nicer things. What's wrong with his hands? Cthulhu.
I believe it's that he was working on dough,
Yeah.
and this is supposed to be the dough falling off his hands, but it kind of fused with him and turned into him.
No, this is the part the story doesn't want to tell you. They are being a dick to the baker because the baker is actually a tentacle monster.
Yeah.
So it's kind of okay, I guess, because it's an alien and it killed the baker that was living and working there beforehand. This is written by ancient Cronenberg. Yes, basically that. Yes. Yeah, it's not as detailed as it should be, right? Now, Tifa.
The last trick.
You all ready for this? Max and Maurice, I grow sick when I think on your last trick. Why must these two scalawags cut those gashes in the bags? See, the farmer on his back carries corn off in a sack. Scarce he has begun to travel when the corn runs out like gravel. All at once he stops and cries,
Darn it, I see where it lies.
Ha! With what delighted eyes Max and Maurice he espies. Raps! He opens wide his sack, don't say it, shoves the rogues in, hook a pack. It grows warm with Max and Maurice for to mill the farmer Horace.
Master Miller, hello man, grind me that as quick as you can. In with them!
Each wretched flopper headlong goes into the hopper. As the farmer turns his back, he hears the mill go.
Cricky crack, key.
Here you see the bits post-mortem, just as fate was pleased to sort 'em. Master Miller's ducks with speed gobbled up the coarse-grained feed. Yeah.
The face of the output was pretty weird.
Where is it?
Here.
Yes.
It definitely is Shrek now that you mention it.
It's kind of impressive how many things were very clearly inspired by these old German stories. Because there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Max and Maurice are no more because they are now part of these very chunky
Ducks.
duck butts. Yes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, these two were really bad. I'm not sure if it justifies being grinded into duck food, but...
I mean, we don't know if the people in the town all talked to each other and they knew all the horrible things that Max and Maurice were doing. Because the idea that the farmer decided to have them killed just because they cut 2 sacks of grains is like...
Yeah, but you can imagine these kids don't just suddenly get up and do these things. They've probably been terrorizing this village for a way longer time.
Possible.
They ruined so many lives, yes.
Yes, that's true.
And they enjoyed it. They reveled in it.
Yes. Can we talk about how incredibly chunky those ducks got after eating the feed? Because those are badonkadonk ducks.
Well, they ate a whole kid. Each.
Impressive.
It kind of is.
Impressive in its own right.
Conclusion? Don't be a dick.
Yeah,
or you will be ground into
basically.
pieces and eaten by ducks.
Yeah, just don't be assholes. Don't do things that can kill people. Just don't. Those are thick ducks. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
In the village, not a word, not a sign of grief was heard. Widow Tibbet, speaking low, said,
I thought it would be so. None but self.
Cried Buck.
To blame. Mischief is not life's true aim.
Then said gravely Teacher Lample.
Here again is an example. To be sure, a bad thing for youth,
said the baker.
A sweet tooth.
Even Uncle says.
Good folks, see what comes of stupid jokes.
But the honest farmer.
Guy, what concern is that to I?
Through the place in short there went one white one white murmur of content.
God be praised, the town is free from this great rascality.
See, a happy ending.
Yes. Max and Maurice were the ancient version of it was just a prank, bruh. And they got what they had coming. After terrorizing the entire town for way too long, they got eaten by ducks.
Yeah, like the worst thing with this story, you feel a tiny bit content at the end.
Yes.
Despite two kids being...
I'm torn. On the one hand, I feel like that was too harsh. On the other hand, I hate Max and Maurice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like mixed feelings. Like these were two... I'm not even sure what I would have done if they were my kids. Probably thrown them in the river already by now, but...
Done all the things they did to the others but to them.
Yeah, the chickens were the worst though. Like that had me like... Oof.
Yeah, the chickens did not deserve it.
All in all, I do like the first few shorter stories better than Max and Moritz. But this one is more like its own little kid's book.
So you're a Struwwelpeter kind of person?
I'm a Struwwelpeter.
We're torturing animals. Fuck those kids.
Mm.
I don't know why people still unironically give these books to their kids. I honestly don't understand it.
Culture?
No culture. No. The view of the shorter stories were better, especially someone who comes in late doesn't miss so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's why we also started with the shorter ones. Yeah. Those were our favorites as well. He didn't write a part 2. Does it say anything?
A part 2 of what? Max and Maurice?
No,
Max
of
and
the
Maurice?
Struwwelpeter. Like, I don't think he actually wrote more.
I hope he didn't. Because I didn't need more than that. I'm happy if that's all.
Yeah. The one thing though, I posted one of the pictures on Discord as well. But the art in the original, I'm not sure if that was because of scanning, is a bit better.
Yes. Basically, if you want to enjoy these books in their full form, go grab a copy yourself. Go to your local library, you can find them everywhere. It's public domain, you can print them yourself, it's free.
I do not regret buying it though.
I do regret her buying it.
Jack didn't want it.
I'm glad you all liked it.
I'm also really happy because I've wanted to do this for a while. And like Jack said before, the plan...
I didn't want to do this. I do not need this in my life. If I want to see horrible things, I read the news.
And like I said before, my plan was to make it a redeem and do like one little story a stream, if it got redeemed, that is. And then Jack's like, I don't want to start with kids burning to death.
Yes, correct. I do not need to start my weekend with a story of a girl being warned by speaking cats and then burning to death.
Well, I even offered to only cut it down to like the Friday and Sunday streams. So it would be like 50-50.
Once again, I don't like the idea of spending my weekend with her. Overlay. Well, did you think I was done?
Good night. Sleep tight.
I did.
Also, your plan...
Whether you do or don't see the thing I was hiding in there depends on your screen. I'm just saying. Because in the preview I can't see it. You're so incredible, so smart. No, I had prepared for this moment. I had a week to prepare for this.
There's a hidden picture, I'm just gonna spoil it, but on my screen
Yes.
I can't see it.
It depends on the contrast settings on your screen. If you don't see it, honestly, you're better off. If you do see it, I'm sorry.
Oh, Bodhi can see it actually. Then
Happy
I take
to
it
hear
back.
There we go.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun, but still I wonder... Maybe it's a parenting, but I absolutely wonder... Benjima, tell me. Have you ever thought like, hey, I need to write stories like this to teach my kids? Because shit out there is way too happy.
Yeah, did you ever feel like today is a beautiful day to ruin my kid's childhood?
Like, darn it, Luca keeps playing with the matches. Let me write a story where this little girl burns to ashes and have the cats mourn her.
Yeah, it's... I don't know, it's a no for me. No. No, I live these. Luca doesn't have any fun.
Not after today.
I'm so sorry, Luca. Can we send a gift to Luca? You know how they make, like for winter, they make gloves and they make mitts? Without the thumb, where you just put your hand in like this. Like finger.
Well, just cut off the thumbs in the glove and sew them shut.
I was gonna say, that's a whole new meaning to fingerless gloves. Like...
This will be my next project. I would love to read your children's kids' version of this.
Perversion?
Version.
I mean, yes, but still, no.
Fuck you. A children's book by Bethany. I would absolutely read that.
I'm pretty sure somebody would buy that.
Make sure to get good illustrations as well. Mm-hmm. Because the pictures do it.
You could potentially ask an AI to draw the pictures for you in the style of Struwwelpeter and Max and Maurice. I'm just saying that is a thing. The pictures help a lot. Yes, my favorite
nice
pictures were all the ones where horrible things happen. So like 50% of them roughly. Like we saw today, I can't believe I'm saying this. We saw today a little girl burned to death. We saw a kid getting mutilated and his thumbs getting cut off. Mm-hmm. We saw a kid starve himself to death from anorexia. Yeah, no, it's quite bad actually.
That reminds me, the story of Supple Philip, does it actually...
Fidgety Philip.
Fidgety Philip, does it actually say in the German version whether he died under there or not?
No.
I don't think so.
But this is great. I'm gonna read out the last 2 lines from the German Fidgety Philip thing. It's about the parents. Beide sind gar zornig sehr, haben nichts zu essen mehr. They're both very angry now because their food is gone. Their kid just got buried under the entire contents of what was on the table. And they are not worried one lick about their child. They're angry about the food.
I'm gonna assume he was absolutely fine.
I'm not a parent, but they got a damn point. My favorite was the Gunny because it was the most shocking, which is weird considering the rest of the content. Gunny had me good, yeah.
Gunny was a pretty good one.
Yes. Gunny is my favorite animal now.
I'm still unsure about why he didn't actually hit. Like, I felt like it was gonna lead up to that.
Gunner?
Gunny.
Yeah, it's wild. I love how there's blood on the tablecloth. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it could be the soup or the food or whatever caused the stain. Or it could be your dead child. But good thing that you're mad about, the food.
Warning shot, yeah. Also in the English version, when the rabbit shot
the
gunny, sorry. When Gunny shot the cup and saucer, did the woman actually say she burned herself?
No, the bunny, the baby bunny got burned.
Oh, yeah, okay. Because I think that might have been lost in translation at first, but no, you're right. Because here the bunny starts screaming, who burned it while he caught the spoon.
Oh, it caught the spoon. The lady dropped. It was on the saucer. Oh, now I get it.
Maybe that is the story. Not just that you shouldn't hunt, but that the gunny, by becoming the hunter, hurt his own kid. Because this bunny burned. Oh, Fody asked ChatGPT to tell a children's story about Gunny, a gun-toting bunny rabbit who loves gun rights.
I'm sorry, but I am not able to generate a children's story about a gun-toting bunny rabbit who loves gun rights, as it goes against the OpenAI use case policy. As a responsible AI, I would advise you to avoid promoting violence, especially to children. If you're looking for a children's story, I'd be happy to suggest something else. Beautifully done. Beautifully done by the OpenAI people.
I'm telling you, ChatGPT is hard to convince.
Yes. I mean, you could have it write a similar story, just not tell it's about a kid's tale. And like Mad-lib it, so you just replace the words.
Yeah, you could probably make it tell a story about a hunter, ask it to go a bit gloomy. I'm sure it has a cap somewhere, and then just...
I would hope so.
Rewrite it worse.
I'll remove children. That's the thing OpenAI doesn't want you to happen. That's why that block is in there.
Make it about like a 40-year-old guy and then later rewrite that in a kid.
Basically.
But I think even then it's going to refuse you.
It should. AI doesn't respect the Second Amendment. Gosh darn, Commie.
It's
Good.
my right.
Good. Imagine, I'm pretty sure this has happened before and the people that moderate these things have to unfortunately read that stuff. But imagine if somebody now has an argument with a chatbot, like, but it's my right, this is a free country. I'm pretty sure somebody has done that before.
I can confirm people do argue with chatbots.
Yes, which is
all the time
to me. Yes.
And it's the weirdest thing to read, like in our chatbot as well. You can see exactly how long a conversation went. And then sometimes you see like a 20-minute conversation where people are just bashing on it. And I think somehow they believe there's a person behind it.
Yes.
Because why else would you waste your time for so long to argue with a literal bot?
Because they don't understand that it's not a person.
Probably.
Exactly what the AI is worried about, to be fair. Yes.
It knows your track record.
That's the point. That's the point. They knew what they were doing when they set that thing up.
Suddenly there's like an alarm going off in the background.
It should, honestly. You should be on some sort of watch list after asking it to do that.
Yeah, but I think with certain things it's not like wanting to do that, it's just to see where will this bot go.
Yeah.
Like what will it reply? What will it answer? What will it spit out? Like I've asked it some outrageous things just to see if I could bait it to give me certain answers. It didn't work.
Yeah, but at the same time I'm pretty sure they anticipated that, because then the next day it's gonna be in the newspaper. Like, oh my god, this chatbot told me these horrible, atrocious things, so yes.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Just had to remove the gun rights in children, but that's basically everything.
So you made it write something unrelated.
Okay, wait. Tell me a story about Gunny, a gun-toting bunny rabbit. Okay.
Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest, there lived a bunny rabbit named Gunny. Gunny was a curious and adventurous rabbit who loved to explore the vast and beautiful woods. However, unlike other bunnies, Gunny had a unique hobby. He loved to collect and tinker with guns. One day, while out on an adventure, Gunny stumbled upon a group of hunters who were in the forest to hunt down wild animals. Without hesitation, Gunny pulled out one of his guns and chased the hunters away, protecting the forest and its inhabitants.
Yay, Gunny!
Oh, chatbot, you fell for it. Word of Gunny's bravery quickly spread throughout the forest, and soon all the animals looked to him as their protector. Gunny took it upon himself to ensure that the forest remained safe and peaceful for all its inhabitants. Despite his love for guns, Gunny was also a peaceful and compassionate rabbit. He knew that the guns were only to be used for protection and never for harm.
I like how it's like trying to make you believe this is all okay.
He taught the other animals about gun safety and how to use the guns responsibly.
I'm telling you, Gunny is gonna be a mascot for some company after this.
Should be. Gunny's bravery and kindness earned him the respect and the admiration of all the forest creatures, who knew that as long as Gunny was around, they were safe and protected. The end.
Don't you have like this police dog mascot where they also go to like schools and stuff to talk about safety and shit?
Paw Patrol? I think that's a show.
No, I've seen some video of it. They literally go into like this dog suit that's dressed as a police guy and have speeches. I can imagine Gunny being the next one.
Tifa, I think you saw footage from a furry convention.
I kid you not, I'm gonna look it up.
Anyway, started blasting. That was quite amazing. I liked the story. I liked how the AI made it sure that you understood where it was coming from very clearly. It's the AI from 1600s Germany. It should be, honestly.
It really should.
It did a really good job. Indeed it did.
I'm gonna see if I can also get something out of it. But it was lots of fun. Enjoyed it. I'm glad we did it. Thank you for doing the stories with me.
I'm mostly glad it's over. Because now Tifa had her cake and ate it too. And I can say I've done this with her.
Yeah.
And now I don't need to do it again.
Well, it depends. I couldn't really find anything else.
Good.
But there have to be more stories like
I hope
this.
not. I hope not.
But these were definitely the most famous ones.
Yes.
If I dig a bit harder, I might find some new ones. If I get enough for another stream, we can do another one.
Maybe Tifa will find something from the Netherlands, and then we can compare that and post with the German parts we just read.
Yeah, I actually tried to find some stuff from the Netherlands. And there was like one song which is really famous.
Music, songs, not books.
Yeah, it's a famous kid song. Like, you even have a dance with it, you learn it at school, you sing it at home. I don't think there's a single Dutch person that doesn't know the song because everyone grows up with it in school.
Where are you going with this? Carry on.
And then, if you actually learn about the origin of the song, it's about warning girls not to sleep with random men because you will get pregnant and you have to give off your baby to the nuns. But there wasn't that much about it. We have a song about the plague. Maybe I should just look into all cultures and combine songs and its origin story. Because I think a lot of people don't know.
I think a lot of people never wanted to know either, but now you do. Now we dipped our toes in a part of a pretty old German history. Maybe one day when Tifa has done enough research, we can do the same with the Netherlands.
Yeah, need to definitely look into it more. Maybe I'll try to collect enough, but then like all cultures combined.
No, just the Dutch is enough.
I don't think we have enough because I tried. I couldn't find that much.
I will quote Foley here. Oh my god, please.
See, and Benjamin says they have a song about the plague, so that means I can absolutely get some in.
I need the monkey stories. I somehow have a feeling that monkeys will not play a big part if the one that she started with is about having intimate relationships with strangers and then dealing with your offspring.
Well, it makes sense.
Jack and Jill, which apparently is about infidelity, but someone could have been lying about that. Is it? What is Jack and Jill about? I keep thinking about the movie with Adam Sandler.
The song, no? Hey, what's the fairy tale Jack and Jill about?
A traditional English nursery rhyme. Blah 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 blah.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. Went to bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown paper. Jill came in and she did grin to see his paper plaster. Mother vexed did whip her next for causing Jack's disaster.
I'm not sure if that means that Jack dies at the end. Because when you tell me he fell down and broke his crown, my mind goes all the way there and I'm thinking about he split his skull.
Yeah, but if it's about infidelity, with that they meant he fell and landed with his dick in someone else.
Oh, he split the crown.
I'm not sure.
Adam Sandler. Isn't there a movie like that? Jack and Jill?
Oh, he does die, so he does.
Yes, Jack and Jill.
Cracked his skull.
Is a 2011 American comedy film with Adam Sandler.
I don't think I've seen that one.
So I did interpret that correctly. Alright.
Okay, I'm gonna do research into nursery rhymes. Find out about its history, its origins, and then we do a nursery rhyme stream. If I can find enough
nursery rhymes.
No, nursery rhymes around the world.
No. You don't...
I don't have enough for Dutch.
No, Tifa, we don't get to do the weird German bits and not get to do the weird Dutch parts.
Yeah, I will include the Dutch ones too, but it's not my fault. You guys are a bit weirder when it comes to this.
A bit weirder.
Yeah, we don't, at least in our stories, we don't straight up go like they burned. We'll put a whole nice story around it, and so that you don't know what you're singing.
I have a strong feeling that the only reason why, if there are more German stories, that is because you didn't even have your own language at that point. So you just also took our stories.
Honestly though, I'm 100% sure if I start digging more into it and go into the same time, they're gonna be racist. They're all going to be racist.
And?
I'm 100% sure.
That's not an excuse to not show them to the world. Like,
well, no, that
disclaimer,
is true, but...
the racist parts in Max and Maurice, I didn't tell you about because I agree with them. I told you about them because they're in there. Like...
Yeah, but at least you guys have like burning girls, weeping cats.
What do you mean at least?
Like it's different.
What do you mean at least? Like, was the highlights? No, all of this was messed up. The last 2 hours, the last 2.5 hours of my life were about horrible things.
You have shooting rabbits and all of that.
Which is also not a good thing.
We have Black Pete.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And let's talk about how the Dutch in 2000...
That's what I call blackface.
In 2023 still understand why the entire rest of the world gives them a funny look. Like, you have a culture where white people put black paint on their faces and they call themselves Black Pete, and they give themselves the exaggerated lips and everything else.
Don't forget the earrings.
The hoop earrings.
The slave outfits.
Yes.
And they are slaves to an old white man.
Yes.
Doing his work for him.
Yes.
That's not racist.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's culture.
Yeah. We need to talk about this with Hulk the next time he shows up. His wife-to-be is Belgian. She has to know about Zwarte Piet.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he needs to have a discussion with her where she stands on this. Because when I first met Tifa and I went over there around Christmas season and I saw Black Pete.
It's a culture shock.
I told her, that's racist.
Literally with this expression. He looked at it.
That is racist.
I didn't tell him beforehand. So he's looking at the Black Pete's because they're walking all through the city during that time. And he's looking at me. He's like, that's racist.
Yes.
I'm like, that's Black Pete.
Yeah, I'm like, that's racist. Like, I get it. I get the part where this was completely normal for the last whatever many 100 years. But I believe there is a point in time where the people in the country should come together and realize, should we really keep doing this? I mean, we've been doing it for a couple 100 years. It's like tradition. But shouldn't we re-examine our values and see if this is still reflected there? Because that's racist.
Well, you know the shittiest thing? It's like how it's all being handled. It's weird when the whole country is like, hey, it's racist day, but it's still fucking funny to point at it and laugh because it's weird. It really is weird. But it's a discussion every single year because you have the side that is against it, of course, and things like, hey, that's racist, stuff like that. And you have the side that goes like, no, this isn't racist, it's tradition, it's to make kids happy, they are heroes, blah de blah, should not touch it. So every year you have these two sides fighting all of that. Whatever. But then at some point, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, they were like some of the like main people who organize it and make television shows about it went like, okay, blackface is racist, so we should do something else. How about we go with Rainbow Pete instead of Black Pete? And then they decided, instead of just like, but wait, let me go one step back. The reason why they're all black is because of all the years of going down the chimney.
It's soot.
It's soot. It made them black. But instead of just having people with like soot stripes on their faces, you know, just have some stripes on it.
You know, like a
Problem
person
solved.
cleaning a chimney would have soot on their face, which is completely normal if you work in a place with a lot of soot.
Exactly. That would have been my solution, honestly. Then everyone can still be happy.
That's what it should have been if you want to go with it's soot.
But instead, their solution was Rainbow Pete. So we have hundreds of Black Petes, and they all have a specific job. You have the wrapping Pete, you have the gifting Pete, you have the cookie Pete. All of them have one job, like Smurfs. But now instead of like putting soup on them, they painted them purple, blue, green, pink, yellow. And that looked absolutely ridiculous. So that of course was a big flop.
But this is completely missing the point. How the white guy is still in charge, not doing anything and being celebrated for it. Whereas his helpers, who have different skin color, are the one doing all the work.
You're not replacing the white guy. There's no one sees a problem with the white guy. It's just the Black Petes. That's the problem.
It wasn't wrong because he was black. It's wrong because it's racist. And if they were all purple, it would still be racist. Am I wrong here?
Well, the Dutch probably made the most profit of the slave trade. Yeah, we absolutely did.
Yeah.
You will not replace the white guy. No, I mean, no one actually sees the problem with the white guy. The only thing they do have with him is that he's leading the Black Petes. But the white guy is an actual historical figure.
You want to bet some people are arguing that's the Black Pete's fault too?
No, just the Black Pete just somehow came along. I think the original story, but don't nail me to it, is that they're actually slaves saved by him and are helping him out ever since then. But like I said, don't nail me to that. I need to read into that.
So they
again.
traded slavery for a new owner who is treating them less bad.
Willingly.
Do they get paid? Okay, that's
with
the
the children's happiness, I don't know. I never wondered whether they got paid.
Yeah, so yeah, no.
Anyway, it's not a holiday I
slavery.
care about. It's just really weird. Like, It's celebrated on the 5th of December in the Netherlands. And it starts like 3 months before.
Yes.
And I think the whole argument even starts like half a year before now.
Mm-hmm. As it should. As it should. Went on holiday to Cornwall, and when we got back, my auntie told me we have a parade with people in blackface. Apparently it's to do with mines, but it's still weird. This is what I will never understand. If you want to portray coal miners, people sweeping chimneys, I don't think you have to or should go blackface. You could just make yourself look like you work in a coal mine or sweeping chimneys. There is so much space between having soot on your face and blackface. It's really hard, I think, to, I don't know, mistake one for the other.
Wanna go to the show and tell and show Zwarte Piet?
I can do that if you give me a moment. Also,
it's culture, we can't get banned for that.
Benjima, I looked up, how do you pronounce him? Papa Lazarou. And yeah.
That looks creepy as fuck. The picture on Wikipedia looks like some BDSM episode.
First of all, it looks like nightmare material. And yes, that's just wild. Wild. Now,
I need to read that up. It's from a great TV show. I haven't heard of it.
The phrase "you will not replace us" is what the Nazis in our countries chant at their rallies. Yeah, it's not a good argument.
Kind of the same. Now, Google Zwarte Piet. You get the better results.
Oh yeah, I accidentally still have Bing on the list.
You went in a Dutch-English translation.
Zwarte Piet.
Yeah.
Images. Bum. How do I best do this? Give me 1 sec.
There you go.
Wait.
Watch it if you get the chance. I'm gonna look that up.
There we go.
It seemed like enough nightmare material.
Show and tell. This is Zwarte Piet. Black Piet. If you ask me, a person who has stuff on their face from sweeping chimneys should look like this. Not like that.
Yeah, the right side is your well, you can see it.
Yeah.
You see it on the pictures. The right side is your typical Black Piet. The left side is kind of what we're going to. Funnily enough, this is a picture from an article about which pictures you're still allowed to share on Facebook, because Facebook has been shutting some things down, especially since the arguments got really heated.
One of a few good things Facebook has ever done. I love this cultural knowledge. You're welcome, Bev. I mean...
Oh yeah, that's where they started with like purple Pete and everything, which personally I thought was utterly ridiculous. What's wrong with just
It's still missing the point.
What's wrong with just suit, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, this is the typical outfit you wear. That's Sinterklaas, Sint Niklaus.
Look at them looking up to the white guy. What messes me up about this, which is why I never understood the people who went like, oh, it's not supposed to be racist. So, correct me if I get any of this wrong, yes? Also, let me put on some music again. This overlay doesn't have any.
No, fair enough.
Getting the playlist from earlier back again. So, Black Pete is black because he does the chimney thing, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm guessing the idea is that he is this blackened everywhere because of the amount of hard work he does and the amount of chimneys he sweeps?
Well, yeah, they go through. It's like Santa Claus. They go through an entire country in one night to give you presents.
Okay, why?
For every year.
Why does Black Pete never wash his face?
I do not know. Let me have a quick look at the history of this. Tifa, have you ever dressed up like this? Yes. I've even given gifts for like that.
Because 30 years ago, this was completely normal.
This is absolutely normal. And every year, I think it starts like in October, he comes on this giant steamship into the city. And then you see him like here waving, and then he has like hundreds of Black Pete on the ship. It's this whole thing. But wait, here's the history of Black Pete. Let me very quickly read through this.
How about you zoom in?
Oh, it's actually in English.
It's weird.
Let's see if they were actual...
Why does he have those lips and earrings? Seems like an exaggerated stereotype of a certain group of people. Can't put my finger on it. Yes, Tifa, how does this happen? If I start going up and down chimneys a lot because I'm giving presents to all the kids, why do my lips change, and why do I get those earrings that are somehow also used in racist caricatures?
That's just a coincidence.
Okay, the text of that article is so racist.
Yeah, this is 1930. So is he coming out of an egg?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, let's...
Yeah, this is quite horrible.
Well, yeah, because it's a history. He's not even human.
Not making it better. Yeah.
It says the identity crisis of Black Pete.
I totally do see this. What's the first 5 letters on that article headline?
The first 5 letters?
You can read it yourself.
Oh, there. I was like, de groene Amsterdammer? It means the green Amsterdammer.
But the beauty of this thing is, since Tifa pressed the wrong button, you can see the URL. You can read this article yourself. If Tifa is nice, I can even post it in chat and you just click on it.
Yeah,
because this article is English.
But yeah, Black Pete is a huge part of Dutch culture, and I think it's gonna still be a while before it fully disappears. But like every year we have the same arguments, it's getting worse and worse. And I think it's mainly adults that have a problem with Black Pete. Like, I never hear kids complain.
Of course, because the kid doesn't understand what is happening.
Like, it's always, oh, you're taking away the childhood of our kids. Well, if you just...
No, you're not.
Start somewhere, their childhood will be very different.
You're not taking away a kid's childhood if you don't make them do things that as you get older you should have learned are racist. Also, hello youth, happy Sunday, how are you doing?
Cheers. I wonder if you get to the end of stream before Twitch shuts you down. Well, we're not promoting it, we're talking about history. Exactly. I think that's very different.
And I think I made it quite clear which side I'm standing on. Just saying. I'm drawing attention to this because I want you to be aware that there's fucked up things happening right now in this world.
But yeah, if you come to the Netherlands around the time where this is a thing, and if you're not used to it, I think you'll be a tiny bit shocked.
And if you're used to it, you should ask yourself, why are you used to it and why you don't find that offensive? I'm just saying. That's racist. I think
you can be... Oddly enough, you can be used to it while it's being offensive. Like, I grew up with it. I'm used to it. I don't agree with it. I think you can absolutely see it in a different light.
I'm doing this
but
because...
I enjoyed that stuff, especially as a kid. I had fun. I went to see
as Benjima is pointing out, Jack separating himself from Tifa is hilarious. No, I feel like everything can be taken out of context very easily. And especially something like a stream. If you just take a screenshot of what we just did without any context, that can easily be taken the wrong way. That's why I add so many disclaimers to what I'm about to talk about, like this kind of stuff. Because I want to avoid it being taken the wrong way. Do I understand what Tifa just said? She grew up with this. And I get that. Like, the whole point is, like, at some point, I feel like you should realize, hey, just because I grew up with this and just because I never really thought about it before that, doesn't make it right. Just because that's how it was doesn't mean that's how it should stay. Like, I'm old enough that everybody around me, for example, continuously made jokes about women driving cars. My dad still does. So when I hear that, I had to come to a point where I learned by myself, that's sexist. You know?
Yeah.
Like it didn't come to me. I didn't like grow up with this and like as a 2-year or like a 5-year-old went like, Dad, stop saying these things. They're sexist. I had to learn at some point like, wait, I should challenge what I thought was okay.
I
think that's the point about the Struwwelpeter debate.
I'm gonna be fully honest, I didn't even know what blackface was until like 10 years ago. And with I remember seeing a movie where that was the case, and I was reading some of the discussions about it, and it was some Americans going on about how this is racist and stuff like that, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, because
I looked at it and I'm like, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, because you. Yeah, I get
we
that.
do this every year.
Yeah, because you grew up with something being completely normal to you. Like you never even had the notion of like I should challenge this. I should think about this. How
I didn't get what the
this?
issue was about, so I had to go back and actually rewatch it, and I still didn't get it.
Yeah. Where I grew up, homophobia is a big thing. Everywhere has its things. Yes.
Yeah.
I wish one day we, like, collectively as a world would get rid of all of these things, but I think it's still gonna take decades.
It's never gonna happen.
I hope it will at some point, but like you pointed out, like every area, every culture, every creed, whatever, stereotypes exist, prejudice exists. And I believe only really with experiencing these things firsthand, not being prejudiced against you, but like thinking about them and realizing like other people, other countries, other cultures do it different. Why is that? You can begin to understand like maybe the way we're doing it is not perfect.
Hear he.
Yeah.
But
I know you both know that it's problematic, don't worry. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, just settling back into my weekly routine and doing some work because I'm back home from visiting my parents. Oh, how was it?
How was your week off?
Did you say hi to your parents from us? From everybody?
But yeah, every culture will have something if you dig into it. The Dutch culture just has some more recent things that are not gone yet.
Do we have something like this when it comes to blackface in Germany? I don't think we do.
In Germany? I don't think so.
I mean, we have a very...
Any holidays?
No, there is a minor blackface debate every year with Carnival. Because people get dressed up as all sorts of things. Like, imagine Halloween, but for like a month, kind of. In some parts of the country. And then, yes, some people still do blackface, but then usually they get shamed for it, which I fully understand.
Fair, but I think Carnival is like worldwide.
Yeah, but that's just like individual people doing things that are dumb, not like a whole group of people somewhere in the country decides, let's do racism.
Funnily enough, in the Netherlands during Carnival, that's not a problem.
Wait, then nobody bats an eyelid, or people just don't think, oh, I should totally paint my face black?
Yeah, like no one does Black Pete, for example, during Carnival.
Yeah, why not?
Because it doesn't belong at Carnival.
Ah.
It belongs a few months later.
We put our racism only on holidays.
Like it
It's
already
wild.
had its time. You only bring Black Pete out at the end of the year.
Wild. It was okay, just chilled and played Pokemon. Nice.
Nice, that sounds like a good
Sounds
week.
good. Yes, nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, regardless, to get back to how we even started this discussion, I'll look into nursery rhymes and its origin and maybe do another stream like this, because I had a lot of fun.
Yes, and when you found them, we look at them together. They go through the same vetting process. Like, hey, is the moral of a story something we should actually broadcast out into the world or not?
Well,
we should look at it first.
Even if not, weren't you like, oh, it's history and need to be shown and discussed and disclaimers and stuff?
It depends. If you come up, or if in your research you find the mad ramblings of a 5-hour epic rant of some racist from 1400, no, probably
that's
not.
very different.
If it's a short song or whatever that is just ridiculously bad and happens to be racist, and we can all come together and make fun of how racist that was and how happy we are that that's not a thing anymore, yes.
Oh, I'll look it up. Did anything get left out in the books today?
No.
No, we left everything in.
Yeah. We thought about it with the Inky Boys part of Struwwelpeter book, the first one, but no. Everything was in there uncut.
Yeah. Uncut, unchanged.
Forgot to post this one again. If you want to double check, click the link. This is...
No, that one you posted.
Yeah, but only at the beginning. This is one we went through in the second part of the stream. As I said, they're super old books, they're public domain. You can download them, you can read them whenever you want. Maybe if you do read the Inky Boys part in public, make sure that people get the context of what you're doing there and make them understand what the story is about before they get it wrong.
May get back to the Inky Boys. So glad you left those in.
Yes. We thought about it, but like I said, ultimately I think the moral of the story is a positive one. Don't be racist. So we didn't.
But in the end, I am still a bit weirded out on why the birds are black as well.
Yeah, maybe the birds are were supposed to be like a representation of the 3 boys that were dicks.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
We didn't leave anything out.
Good thing you can only see part of that because of a green screen effect on the camera.
That is fine.
Tifa, now
Yes,
that
Jack.
we spent 2 hours reading bedtime stories, how about we do the same and go to bed?
That sounds like a good plan.
How about you first have a look if there's somebody that we can raid?
How about we go there?
That sounds good. Sleep well, my friends.
I hope you will all sleep well as well. Remember, don't suck your thumbs, don't play with matches, don't make fun of people with different skin colors, do not whip dogs.
Let me make it easier.
Don't rip off wings from birds.
Don't be a dick. Don't be a racist. Don't be a racist dick. Just don't be an asshole.
Or
Basically.
Struwwelpeter will come to visit you.
Yes. Now that you have, for the first time in your lives, heard these great lessons, I hope not. Hope you all knew this beforehand, and I feel like you do. Let's go rate Dio, who is playing Super Mario Odyssey for the first time in his life. He's very wholesome. Unlike us.
You reminded me.
Unlike us. So let's go there and chill for a bit and relax.
Sounds like a plan.
Indeed.
Benjima, don't forget to read them all out to Luca.
Maybe make sure that Leanne is in the room with you so that she can stop you at certain points, depending on how exactly you do it. I'm just saying. Tifa, I've set up everything, go press the button.
Pressing the button.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be back on Tuesday with The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Please stick around for the raid if you can. Bye!
Thank you. you.